Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching or listening to us from. This is the Naija FC podcast, where we bring you unfiltered, our honest opinions on everything regarding Nigerian football. As always, I'm your host, AyoT, and with me, I have my reliable co host.
Smith Layi. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us once again on another fantastic Tuesday where we are live. We have quite a bit to talk about. Of course, you guys are aware that the deadline day for most of the leagues, is now past. There's a few leagues that still have their windows open for maybe the rest of this week here and there. So maybe one or two things might still happen. But January was a busy month for Nigerian football players, from lots of transfers to transfers that did not happen, to big talks that just went quiet, and of course, lots to talk about. We'll try to cover as much as we can on today's show. I would say once again, guys, not a single person sent us a topic of conversation for today. So when we're now halfway into the show, people should not come and start saying, "Oh, talk about this, talk about this, talk about that." Because every week we beg you guys, anything you want us to talk about, send it to us beforehand. Comment on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on the other platforms. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Literally, not a single person sent anything. But as always, I know that once we get into the show, I'm going to start getting tens of questions about, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So I'll just say it here. For next week, anything you want us to talk about, make sure you send it to us ahead of time. Okay, let's get into it. As always, you guys know the format. I like to start by just reviewing the past weekend of action, the past week of action, and highlighting the Nigerian players that performed well, and just giving them their props for good displays. Interestingly enough, this past week saw quite a number of Nigerian players putting good showings, putting good showings. So I'll start from the goalkeepers. Chiamaka Nadozie kept a clean sheet in goal for Paris FC, and she also had one assist. So that's not something that is common for goalkeepers. Obviously, we know like maybe someone like Ederson is the one that is usually getting assist every now and then. But Chiamaka Nadozie has joined the ranks of those goalkeepers that gets assist. So kudos to her for that one. Adebayo Adeleye also kept a clean sheet for NOC's Paralimno in Cyprus. So congratulations to him on that one. In defense, we had Jordan Torunariga with a clean sheet, 4 goals won, 6 clearances, and one chance created for Kaa against. We had Kevin Akpoguma with a good performance, 6 goals won, 2 chances created for TSG Hoffenheim. We had Calvin Bassi with 2 tackles, 2 clearances, and 7 goals won for Fulham in England. Yusuf Olatunji with 3 blocks, 3 goals won for Al Oruba. Chibuike Unwaiwu scored a goal for Wolfsberger AC in Austria. Joseph Olobu won 8 duels, made 5 clearances, and created one goal scoring chance for Doncaster in the English League Two. William Troost Ekong with a goal and 10 clearances for Al Khulud Club in Saudi. Christy Uchebe, 17 goals won, an all-round fantastic performance for Benfica in their derby against Sporting. That was a 1-1 draw for them. And then Ola Aino with a clean sheet, one chance created, 6 goals won for Nottingham Forest in that their 7-0 thumping of Brighton. It paid me say you know even at least get one assist, but you can't get it every day. Over in the midfield, we had Jesse Sekidika with a goal for Sabah FK in Azerbaijan. Tochukwu Nnadi with a fantastic display, man of the match performance for Zolta Waregem. One chance created, 4 dribbles, 7 tackles, and 17 goals won. 17 goals won in midfield. Solid, solid. He's fighting everybody. Good midfield performance for Tochukwu Nnadi. Kelechi Nwakali put in a man of the match performance for Barnsley with one clearance, 2 interceptions, and 95% passing. Malo Taufik Ayodeji with a goal for FK Bailis. We had Ogene Tebo with 2 tackles and 8 goals, one for Genkler Beligi in Turkey. Joe Aribo scored a goal for Southampton in that their fantastic English Premier League victory over Ipswich. Jennifer Echegini with an assist, 2 dribbles, and 7 goals, one for Paris Saint-Germain Femini in France. Motunrayo Ezekiel made a good start to her life in Spain with an assist on her debut for Valencia CF in Spain. Peace Effie with 1 goal and 1 assist for OFI Ofikret in Greece. Peter Agba scored a goal for NK Olympia in Slovenia. And then moving on to the forwards, we had Francis Eze with 1 goal and assist for Ankara Kekeranguchu in Turkey. I was saying my mouth almost scattered to say that name. Andrew Idoko got an assist for Hapoel Jerusalem in Israel. We had Rinsola Babajide, our star of the week, with 1 goal and 1 assist for UDC Tenerife in Spain. Paul Mukairu completed 7 dribbles and created 4 goal scoring chances for Boluspor in Turkey. Somehow they still lost that game 1-0. Favor Akem scored 1 goal and made 1 assist for El Guna FC in Egypt. Gordon Okwara scored a goal for El Gaish. Paul Onwachu on the score sheet again for Southampton in English Premier League. Good one for him. Francisca Odega scored her first goal in Saudi Arabia for Al Ittihad Ladies. Shout out to Francisca Odega for that one. Uchena Ogundu got an assist for Sanlufaspor in Turkey. Gif Monday scored a goal for UDC Tenerife in Spain. Antoniette Payne, Tony Payne, with 2 assists for Everton, Everton women. She was playing from the strike position, playing like a false nine. That was a good one for her to get 2 assists. Victor Boniface, back in the team, back on the score sheet. 1 goal for Bayer Leverkusen. Good left-footed strike over there in their victory over Hoffenheim, where Gift Orban came off the bench to also get a goal. So I'm happy that Gift is scoring a bit consistently, and hopefully he can continue like that, at least for the rest of the season. And then Ismail Akinade scored a goal for Terengano. So that's how the Nigerian players performed this past week. And just very quickly to run you through our team of the week. In goal, we had Chiamaka Nadozie with her clean sheet and 1 assist. In defense, we had Olaino, Christy Uchebe, William Trust Ekong, and Jordan Torunariga. I have to shout out Olaino, William Trust Ekong, and Torunariga. They've been so consistent, making the team of the week nearly every week. Torunariga is the one that I'm not sure if Super Eagles are looking at him, but if they are not, maybe they should, because he's been doing consistently well for Kara against. And of course, Christy Uchebe rounds up. She's also been doing well for Benfica, but that's on the women's side. And then in midfield, we had Joe Aribo, Toshiko Nadi, and then we put Tony Payne in the number 10 position. Even though she played as a false nine, we just put her in number 10 position for the team of the week. And then in attack, we saw Babajide with 1 goal and 1 assist, Francis Eze with 1 goal and 1 assist, and then Give Monday up front with a goal. So that was the Nigerian team of the week. Before we get into specific performances from this past weekend, Smilai, was there anybody that stood out to you? Maybe someone that I did not mention that you thought had a good performance, anything like that?
So I think I just have to mention Victor Boniface, because the circumstances surrounding, what happened to him about a week ago, the way the big catch disappeared just suddenly, and he's back to his team and he's scoring goals. That's actually was very impressive. The way he could fight out the mental pain, and actually do well for me. I'm actually really impressed with actually what he
We'll,
did.
we'll, we'll get to we'll get to Victor Boniface in a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Okay, so now final call for anybody that's on Instagram to switch over to YouTube. I see somebody said YouTube is tiring. My response to that would be, if you truly want to support us, it should not be tiring to just go to a different app and support. Instagram does not give us shishi. We don't gain anything from being, and I'm being very upfront with you guys.
yeah.
We do not gain a single cent from streaming for 5 hours on Instagram.
Instagram, no.
But at least on YouTube, we can generate a little bit of income to pay staff to continue to create content to run what we're trying to run. So please, if you want to support us, switch over to YouTube. If it is too much work for you, I understand that you don't want to support us. Fine, I can't force anybody. But please, if you want to enjoy the content, if you want to support us, switch over to YouTube, because the stream is ending on Instagram now. Again, I'm not going to get into a back and forth with you about this. Please switch over to YouTube. Thank you. Okay. Um, let us get into it. Let us get into it. I want to start by highlighting one female player who has been in good form recently, and I think it bodes well for Nigeria. It bodes well for the national team, even though unfortunately we're already in February. There's an international break this month. We've not yet heard about any engagements for the Super Falcons. They always treat them so badly. I don't even know if I want to get into that today. But this girl, in her last 2 matches, has been doing well, and I just think is worthy of talking about. I'm talking about Jennifer Oninye Echegini, Joe Smith Layi, she scored a goal and got an assist in their Coupe de France game against Nantes, and then now against Strasbourg rather, she gets another assist. This is a girl that, of course, scored our only goal at the Olympics. We know the kind of talent that she has. She had, what I can only describe as a slow start to life in PSG, especially when
Mm-hmm.
you compare it to what she was doing at Juventus.
Rangers, yes.
But now she's picking back her form. She's part of their starting 11. It's almost like she has sealed her place in the starting 11 now.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say about Echegini? Should Nigerian fans be excited for this girl?
No, for me, like if you remember that we discussed this girl, just before the Olympics, and I told you that she's going to be the key lady for Nigeria going to the Olympic Games. That is how much I believe in her. That's how much I trust her talent. I like she's a proper Nigerian player. This bubbling type of player that takes football very easy. Move her movement and everything. And for me, I think she's one of the players that we should be excited to actually what have in our ranks. Fantastic talent to that matter. She'll be playing her first AFCON. Hopefully, she got selected by by Coach
Ah,
Padu.
if they're not selected, who do they want to select in that place?
So she'll be playing her first AFCON. But I'm also saying to you that she's go very key to us winning the WAFCON
Mm,
this year. Fantastic talent. She's playing at the highest level now, in French football. And apart from even the numbers, I like her swag. When she's actually what playing, the swag she brings to it, and she's also very humble and down to earth lady.
mm,
Fantastic, fantastic player. I think it's one of the big gains from
mm.
from us. But she's not popular because Alozie is more popular than. But I don't among Nigerian fans now.
No,
So
no,
but
no. I know what you're talking about. I understand. I understand.
but she's someone that she should be very. We should be happy to have her in our ranks.
Mm. Because a lot of Nigerian fans, they don't really watch women's football. They just look at, this girl fine, I like her.
That is
You
what
know.
they look at.
But if you're talking about the players that based on ability that
Mm-hmm,
people should really be backing, we're talking
mm-hmm,
about a Rashidat, a Christy, a Chiamaka, a
mm-hmm,
Jennifer Echegini,
mm-hmm.
because her talent is so 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 high. I
Yeah,
remember when I interviewed her, she said her role models are Ronaldinho and Eden Hazard.
yeah.
So when you like Ronaldinho, you like Hazard. Those are
Mm-hmm,
players that were showmen. Those are
mm-hmm.
players that excited fans on the field.
Yeah,
So you can imagine that's the way she likes to play. She likes to excite people. She's so technically gifted. She's
yeah.
so talented. She can play in the box, outside the box. She can
Mm-hmm,
pass. She can shoot. She can drive the ball forward.
yeah.
An all-round proper football player.
Mm-hmm,
And I'm looking forward to seeing her continue her form this season.
yeah.
And they are playing a game on the 7th against Le Mans in the Coupe de France. I'll be
Mm-hmm,
expecting her to get at least another goal or another assist in
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
And the sky is the limit for Jennifer Echegini. Proper
Mm-hmm,
player. I really like watching her play,
mm-hmm,
and I want to keep on watching her do well.
mm-hmm,
Okay, let me move forward to another Super Falcons player that has been in good form in 2025 so far. She has been doing so well that we cannot but acknowledge that she is taking, hopefully, what is now a proper step up.
mm-hmm,
I'm talking about Gift Monday. Gift
mm-hmm.
Monday, of course, is no new face, no new name to Nigerian fans. She has been in the Nigerian setup for a while now. Of course, she has been to the AFCON, didn't make it to the Olympics. But when you look at her form since the 21st of December, she has played 5 games and she has scored 6 goals and has got 1 assist. She started February again with another goal. Smilai, I know last time we spoke about her, you had some comments to say. This past weekend, she gonna score another one again.
Yeah.
Is it time for people to invest in Gift Monday stocks,
No,
or they should still hold?
no. The issue is there's one thing I cannot deny. She's gifted. She's gifted. She's
No,
talented
no,
player.
no pun intended.
There's no yeah, she's very, very gifted. But the problem is just that I want her to finish the season like this.
Mm,
I want her to actually want to keep doing this thing. We don't just want her to bring because since she missed out of the Olympic Games, things
mm,
have changed about her. So for me, I want her to keep on doing this. Take this form to WAFCON
mm,
and go and show us in WAFCON why you are this good. And when I saw the top scorer list in Spain, I saw Edna Imade 11 goals.
mm,
Monday, that is Monday Gift 9 goals.
mm.
You know, I saw the names Ajibade, R Ajibade 6 goals. Babajide, that is
Resola,
Sisola Babajide 6 goals. And I was seeing in the company of all these Aitana Bomati.
Alexa Putellas, those kinds of people.
Yes, yes. So Peters and Alexia, I was like, come on, Nigeria are full here now. So for
Mm,
me, it makes me actually what happy that we are in this company.
mm,
And Gift Monday is Lizzie, Aitana, and Alexia. In this chorus chart, at least 9 goals tied with Alexia. So I'm happy that she's doing well like this. I
mm,
want her to finish the season strongly, win the Pichichi like what the big girl did,
mm. Super
superstar
Z.
did, Super Z did. So that's what I want because Super Z is our mentor, so she should take after her too. That's
No, I mean, you're not wrong. These players are in good company.
it.
Edna Imade is second on the charts. Gift
Yeah.
Monday is fourth. Ajibade and Babajide are in ninth. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's an exciting time. Our footballers in Spain are
Mm-hmm.
progressing, are doing well. And that's another reason why I believe you are seeing an influx of more and more Nigerian female players going to Spain. I think people are starting to believe more and more in the ability of players
Mm-hmm.
coming out of Nigeria. And I mean, Gift Monday is a player that I like. Nobody can deny her talent.
Mm-hmm.
She just needs to get that consistency, keep on performing like this. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I went to Barcelona in 2023 and I watched her play, I told her that I was her good luck charm because she had not scored in the league until I watched her play. And in that game, she scored 2 goals. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her that I said, now me bring luck for you, and unfortunately things kind of died. I mean, I left Spain, so things died down. But now she has picked up again. Like you rightly said, I don't know if it's maybe the ginger from not making the Olympics team. I don't know what exactly it is, but I like the fact that she's playing like this. She needs to try to finish the season like this. Even if she cannot win the Pichichi, at least be among the top five. She's a striker. It's different when I look at a Babajide, I look at an Ajibade. Those ones are playing as wingers, so they don't necessarily get as many chances to score like her or like Edna Imade. And Edna is doing very well with 11 goals, second on the chart. She has 9 goals, tied with Alexa Putellas. So if she can just keep on scoring those goals, her team will keep on doing better if she's scoring goals. And I want to see her name amongst those superstar names. It's going to be hard to win the Pichichi just because we know Barcelona are for that league, even though they lost.
Mm-hmm.
They lost, which surprised everybody in the world. Barcelona
Mm-hmm.
lost at home this
Mm-hmm.
past week, but it's just going to be hard to be the highest goal scorer when somebody like Ewa Pajo is in is
Pajo is
in
the
is
top
in
scorer,
Barca. She's the top scorer, and Barca we know how many goals they score.
yeah.
But I'm happy to see her among those names. It is obviously something that will help her visibility, help her brand, help her
Mm-hmm.
stock, and maybe who knows, somebody else can sign her, get her into a bigger team. So shout out to Gift Monday. Shout out to Gift Monday. If you're a fan of her, maybe you can go and buy some stocks, and hopefully those stocks will mature and will generate even more revenue for you when it comes to football bragging rights.
Yeah.
But yes, Gift Monday, wishing you all the best for the rest of the season. Okay, let us move over to the men now. Let's talk about some of the men. I'm going to start with Super Eagles player. In fact, I'm going to start with the Super Eagles captain, William Troost Ekong. A goal for Al Kulud in their unfortunate defeat against Al Ittihad. Ittihad just have too much firepower for them. They were leading the game 2-0. They ended up losing the game 4-3. But it was still a good effort. Ekong put in a good performance in defense. And the reason why I'm particularly highlighting him is because Smith Layi, the last time we spoke about Ekong, which was I think last week, you had spoken about like, oh, after going to Saudi, his level has inevitably dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's a change of mentality. I don't know what exactly it is. If you're paying attention, which I always do, Ekong has this new air of professionalism around him. He's using LinkedIn. He's talking more about his off the field project. I think he's preparing for life after football.
100%.
Yes, but since January hit, he has been performing at a high level. Even when his team loses, he is their best player. He is
Mm-hmm.
doing well. I know that is Saudi, but Do you think this bodes well for us looking forward to like the games coming up in March, those World Cup qualifiers? Isn't it a good thing that William Troost-Ekong is in this kind of form, even though he's playing in Saudi?
No, his job is not to score goals, but it's good that he's scoring goals.
But
You know,
no, it's not only scoring goals, even his defensive contribution is
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So for me, it's very important we have Ekong in the national team. Apart from even him playing very well in the defense, he's the only leader that I see currently in that team now. The other type of leader is Victor Osimhen, but it does not show that leadership. It shows it's like he's showing that one by playing.
Yeah.
Play by an example. That's what Osimhen is showing, but it's leading on and off the pitch as Ekong. So I'm happy he's actually what he's doing well. And the good thing is that it's not as if we are facing Messi, you know, in the match window. It's not as if we're always facing Messi. It's not as if we are facing, all these big games. So I'm happy that he's back to form. I'm happy that he's doing what he's doing. And, he's Saudi. You can only do well depends on the levels you actually want around you. So, we cannot say, but I'm just trying. I said that statement because of what he did during the qualifiers. I just realized that I saw some shaky moments, especially against Benin Republic in the away game and also, in the away game. So I saw some things, and that's why I just made that statement. For me, I'm happy he's back to form. I'm happy he's doing well. He can actually continue to do well. Fantastic captain.
No, fantastic, fantastic one. And I mean, I'm really hoping that his form can continue like that. Also, just to note that he's now also mentoring a young Nigerian player who just joined his team in Ambrose Ochigbo. And I think having somebody like Ekong to guide you in a new land, I think is a good thing for sure. And I'm hoping that his form can continue like this. I'm hoping that he can continue putting in high level performances.
Mm-hmm.
And at least, even though the level might not be the highest, that there's just that thing that confidence does for football players. When
Mm-hmm.
you're going into a game full of confidence and you feel like you can stop anybody, you can play your game. I mean, against Etihad, it wasn't playing against scrubs. It was playing
Mm-hmm.
against Karim Benzema, Bergwijn. So it wasn't an easy opposition, anyways, and
Mm-hmm.
he still did a decent job, not only scoring the goal but also defensively. So kudos to William Troost-Ekong. Hopefully the form can continue like this. While he's making his money in Saudi, his performance levels doesn't have to drop. We see somebody like N'Golo Kante, even though into he's playing in Saudi, when he comes to the national team, he's still top, top, top notch and
Yeah.
can go against anybody. So hopefully Ekong can continue to show us that kind of ability, and it would only bode well for us as Nigerian fans and for the Super Eagles as a national team.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move forward quickly. I want to highlight two players who this past weekend scored goals for their club. It was an incredible win. It was a much needed win. I'm talking about Joe Aribo and Paul Onuachu. Tall Paul scores again. Tall Paul scores again. Two goals now in the English Premier League. Southampton, I probably still believe that they are going to get relegated, but I'm happy to see our Nigerian boys on the score sheet. I'm happy to see our Nigerian boys doing well. They have just signed another Nigerian boy. We'll talk about that one in a bit. But Smilai, what did you think of the contribution and the performances of Joe Aribo and Paul Onwachu this past weekend?
Yeah. For me, I'm really actually impressed with what, especially what Aribo did in that game. You mentioned a few things about him improving under this manager, and and you said that he's a very good candidate to really help Eric Chile, in this new formed Super Eagles national Super Eagles.
Even though some people don't want to hear his name,
So
but
yes. So I'm really actually impressed with what he's doing, and I've also noticed some improvement too in Pononoaju. I realized that his positioning, the way he attacks the ball is now different. Under this new manager, and I think that that's the reason why they sold Armstrong to West Brom. I think as Armstrong went to West Brom because of Pononoaju. Because they want to hold on to Pononoaju, and he's been thriving under this manager. So for me, I can see improvement in Paul's game, and don't be surprised. I might be here. It might be there for to do greater things. And now 9 points now. I know 7 points off the bottom of the 17th place team because the other teams are not winning. So they are just there. So if they keep on winning, they're gonna be up there to fight. So for me, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a very tough thing for them. But I'm really impressed with the way our Nigerian players was even did well. I'm so happy about that.
No, and I'll say one thing that I really like about Paulo Noach, especially for that goal, is just the anticipation. Just knowing that there's a chance that this ball might not go in and being able to react very quickly to get to the rebound. That anticipation, the quickness. A lot of people don't give Onuachu credit because maybe when they watched him play for Nigeria, they felt like he wasn't contributing. I won't get into why he struggles with Nigeria, but that's a story for another day. And it is just good to see our players performing at the highest level in a top league like this. Again, I think it's a tall task for them to qualify to avoid relegation. The team that I'm hoping can avoid relegation is Leicester City because at least let it not be that so many of our players are going to get relegated. But I was just happy to see them on the score sheets. When two Nigerian players score, it reminded me of when Basi and Iwobi scored against Man U. You know,
Mhm.
those kind of games when two Nigerians score, their team wins, it just makes me happy. I love to see Nigerian players doing well. So shout out to Polonuachu, shout out to Joe Aribo, and hopefully they can have a good end to the season.
Mhm.
Okay, moving forward, let us talk about, you know, I'm going to describe him as the prodigal son. If you're a Christian, I know the
The
story of the
story.
prodigal son. This is a boy that had already packed his bags, had agreed everything, thought it was going to be drinking oil money in, in a matter of days. But unfortunately, things didn't work quite as he had thought or as we had thought. I'm talking, of course, about Victor Oko Boniface. On the score sheet, yet again for Bayer Leverkusen, a good left-footed finish just shortly after his failed move to Al Nassr. Like you mentioned earlier, Smith, like what I love is the ability to be able to just refocus. You thought you were going to move, you wanted to make a move, you were waiting for them to just put you on the private jet and fly you. Things did not quite work out. But you're back in the team, you recognize the fact that you have a job to do and you get that job done. He played only 45 minutes, but was still able to score that goal. And I would also say it speaks so highly, so highly of him that as soon as he was available again, Jabi Alonso is like, "Yep, I'm putting this guy back in my team." It wasn't a case of, "Oh, let's put him on the bench, let him get his head back in place," whatever the case may be. Jabi Alonso trusted him, which also means that Xabi Alonso believes so much in his ability, just like I believe so much in his ability, which was the reason why I was saying I did not want him to go to Saudi, and some people were attacking me for it on Instagram, telling me, "Oh, what am I talking about?" Blah blah blah. Again, I will not get too much into it, but I was not looking at it from a poverty point of view. I was looking at it from the high potential that I believe that this player has, and honestly, I am just so happy to see him score. People have been doubting him. People still doubt him because of his lack of goals for the Super Eagles so far. But I'm happy that this boy continues to show us that he's a good player, given the right opportunities, given the right system, given the right things put in place. I believe so much in the ability of Victor Boniface, and the goal was a good one. Somebody said, "Who told you he had packed his bag?" Deal wasn't agreed. The deal was agreed. It was agreed with both club and player. It was only for them to just sign. That was all that was left. The deal had been agreed. And I was not there to literally know if he had packed his bags. Obviously, that's just a joke. People should not be too serious. But I was happy to see him score. I'm happy to see him ready to shine again for Bayer Leverkusen. Smithai, what do you think about this?
So just to actually buttress slightly about the previous man you mentioned about Joe Aribo, he's the top scorer for Southampton currently this season. So just to mention that, but let me talk about Boniface. I'm happy that Alonso, that's a pure man management. The confidence level is very low, but he's a guy you have to integrate you directly into this team, and he brought him in. Fantastic performance. I like the way he actually what did the body language, and you can see the celebrations too when he scored that goal. The whole made everybody actually was really happy with him, and I'm happy about that. So for me, I think that was actually is actually behind him now. And so for people that are saying that the D pack is back, he said that I will read the report that Boniface is ready to travel. So if you're ready to travel, that means that your already pack is back and ready to move. So it's not as if we cooked it from anywhere. But I'm happy the way he came back to this team and he's back is back now. I just hope that he continues to actually want to do well. I'm happy. And even his mentality too. That 45 minutes he gave it all and everything. So I'm happy. I'm happy he's back.
You know. And I mean, I know that numbers are not everything, but incredible numbers
Hmm.
is so incredible that he's doing almost twice as good as he did in Union Sengilwa, where we know how we looked at him. I remember when I was talking about him in Norway, talking about him in Belgium. In Sengilwa, in 51 games, he had 17 goals and 12 assists.
Hmm.
So far for Bayer Leverkusen, he has played 50 matches. He has 30 goals and 11 assists.
Hmm.
Those are incredible numbers.
Hmm.
Incredible numbers. We're talking about 41 goal contributions in 50 matches.
Hmm.
Incredible numbers. The
Hmm.
only people that have numbers that are better than this are the likes of Erling Haaland.
Hmm.
Those are incredible numbers.
Hmm.
The issue that he just has is fitness.
Hmm.
When things are going well, something always seems to cause an injury and then he misses time.
Hmm.
But with these kind of numbers, imagine if he's able to play a whole season.
Hmm.
Because when you think about it, 50 games is even less than a season.
Yeah.
You know, in a game, a player can play 60 matches, 60 plus. So 50 games is even less than a season. So
Hmm.
if he can just find a way to stay injury free and play consistently for a whole season and keep up the same goal contribution frequency, we'll be talking about this guy with some of the top names that we're talking about.
Hmm.
Again, if wishes were horses, everybody will ride.
Yeah.
But I'm just very happy with his contribution for Bayer Leverkusen so far. Now let that contribution come and show for the national team as well.
Hmm.
But I'm the person that I always say life does not begin and end with the Super Eagles. So
Yes.
I still have to give him credit for what he's doing with his club, and
Hmm.
hopefully they can get closer to Bayern Munich and maybe win another league title, even though it's a bit difficult this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Victor Boniface, man. I know that Saudi move, is never nice when something like that doesn't go through, but it's football, man. It is what it is. At
Yeah.
least footballers are even lucky. It's not like basketball that you just wake up and hear that Luka Doncic is in the Lakers, and they've traded somebody. Because basketball, you don't decide where you want to play. You
Hmm.
just wake up tomorrow, you just look on Twitter. They don't send you to another city for one other half of side of the country, and
Hmm.
there's really nothing you can do about it. You have to pack your bags and go. You
Yeah.
know, so at least footballers control their destinies, control their clubs.
Hmm.
But yes, let's talk about that failed transfer. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even call it a failed transfer, but ultimately it was a transfer that did not go through. It was between Victor Boniface and John Duran of
Hmm.
Aston Villa, and eventually Al Nassr decided to purchase John Duran.
Hmm.
Some people have been trying to use that as a knock on Victor Boniface,
Hmm.
that, oh, they chose this other guy ahead of you, so maybe you're not that good, blah blah blah. Like, what's your take on it? Do you think it's an indictment on him, the fact that they selected John Duran ahead of him, or do you understand why that decision could have been made?
For me, I think I'm slightly was disappointed, and I will not put the blames directly on Boniface or Hal. Is it Hal Nasri? I will have to talk about those in charge of negotiations in Bayern Leverkusen.
Mm,
When we have reached what verbal agreement, you've reached verbal agreement. I think there's nothing there. You have to put something to paper because at the end of the day, the deal was just worthless. They were trying to pursue Duran, and the agent of Duran was actually working towards that. So for me, I'm just like disappointed that Bayern Leverkusen could agree with Anastri that they are the second option. You know, that is extremely words embarrassing for me.
mm,
And and it's just sad that the whole thing actually was turned out that way. For Boniface, for me, you know, I don't think John Duran is a proven striker. I don't think so. Boniface is more, proven striker than Duran. Despite it's playing in the Champions League and also in the Premier League. So it's just a big slap. I'm slightly disappointed the way Bayern Leverkusen actually would handle that. I don't think that they got it wrong in that area. They
mm,
are very. I know that they're very conservative. Negotiator, but in my own opinion, you cannot allow you guys to be second option. Why can't just see the display away? That for me, I'm not really happy with the way the taste turned out.
mm. And I think I would say Al Nassr is not a good look on them, even though they might not care. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, in the future, if they want to negotiate with another club, it's something that you just have to be aware of. We saw the same thing happen with Victor Osimhen's case when they were looking at Ivan Toney as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're seeing another thing happen to another of our Nigerian players. I think these players, I don't know, maybe if a Saudi club comes for you, you have to tell your agent that, see, unless they are ready to sign the paper like this, say you don't even want to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, you've gone back and forth, negotiated, agreed on a deal, everything, and then all of a sudden, boom, the thing doesn't go through because they prefer somebody else. The reasons why they could have selected John Duran, in my own opinion: youth. John Duran is younger.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Victor Boniface is not old, John Duran is 21 years of age. John
Mm-hmm.
Duran has at least shown to be more durable. One of the things that is working against Victor Boniface, I think, is his injury history. It is something that clubs would always look at. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this guy missed how many 20 games last season? Oh, he has already missed 15 games this season. So if he signs for us, he's probably going to miss a couple
Mm-hmm.
matches just based on his history. And that's something that might get them towards a different player. You also look at the fact that he's African. Unfortunately, AFCON tends to happen in the middle of the season. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that they would also factor into it. That, okay, other than even the fact that he gets injured for 1 month in every 2 years, he's going to leave us to go and play in his continental competition.
Mm-hmm.
And well, as an African, I'll say yes, you have to leave him, let him go. You cannot stop him from going. From the business point of view, from the club that is signing that player and paying him all that money, they would obviously consider that and say, so for 1 month we could just they pay him, in the busy end of the season, and he's not really going to be playing for us. I don't think it is really something that speaks to the ability of Victor Boniface or lack of ability, whichever way. I think it is just the club making a strategic decision for themselves that they think is better for them. A younger player that can play for them longer, more durable, doesn't leave them in the middle of the season. But if we're comparing players, Victor Boniface don't do what John Duran never do. That's just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
If we're comparing players, there is no evidence to say that John Duran is better than Victor Boniface. Yes, I know that every once in a while he will score a screamer, but still, we're talking about a bench boy. We're talking about a boy that has not even been able to establish himself ahead of Oli Watkins. With all due respect to Oli Watkins self, no, I'll choose Boniface over Oli Watkins as well. So for me, for the people that were trying to use that to take shots at Victor Boniface. For I'm not going to name any names, but I remember I saw one clip from one of the top platforms in Nigeria where they were talking about Victor Boniface versus Nicholas Jackson and trying to compare and everything. And I'm like, come on, guys, let's be serious here. Like Victor Boniface is better than Nicholas Jackson. Let's be serious here. You but all in all, Al Nassr chose who they chose. John Duran made his debut for them yesterday. He did not score, but he had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, I know that Victor Boniface would have been licking his lips at the potential opportunity to play with Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's a top opportunity to be playing with CR7. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, from a fan's point of view, I know that there's money that he did not make, but me, I'm happy, man. Like I wanted to see him stay in Bayer
Europe.
Leverkusen. I
Mm-hmm.
want him to move on to a Real Madrid, Barca, Chelsea, Man City, Man U. No, not Man U. God forbid. Arsenal, any of the top teams. May not go the battle relegation for England. I beg,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy that he's still in Europe. I believe so much in the ability of Victor Boniface. Knock on wood that he's able to stay fit if he can, and he can keep himself grounded, he can stay focused, keep performing at this level. I believe that, man, this the sky is not just the limit for him. He can go way into the clouds, where he can get into space, with the kind of ability that the boy has. And Victor Boniface is such a nice personality, fun guy. If he can just work with a team to brand himself properly, I believe that there is so much potential for him, even off the field. Shout out to Victor Boniface, man. Shout out to him, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully he finishes the season very, very strong and can stay fit for the rest of the season. Okay, let me quickly take some comments before we move on. Let me take some comments. People have been talking about a bunch of different things that we've been speaking about. Temi said the deal wasn't agreed yet. The deal was in fact agreed. Oladipo says, I think it's a slap on him that the Saudi team opted for their first choice ahead of Bonnie. Again, we've just explained. I don't necessarily think that it's a slap on him. I think it's just circumstances. Usi Ikechukwu says, in all that deal, he knew he was second option. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't really know exactly. Temi says Aribo doesn't get a call up for me yet. I'm not sure why. If not that you're just looking at recent performance and you're saying, oh, in the national team he didn't do well in the last few games, based on, you know, we always talk about, oh, call players that are performing, call players based on merit. How can you out of one side of your mouth say don't call Kelechi because he's not doing well, but then on the other side say don't call Aribo even though he's doing well? So we kind of have to be balanced in our conversations and in our rhetorics. If we say we should call players that are performing, players that are in form, Aribo is in form. Aribo is doing well. He's playing in a top league. If you've watched The Last Dance, that's Jordan documentary, where Isaiah Thomas said, I met all the requirements to be selected, but I wasn't. It's a clip that people always use on Twitter for jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Aribo meets all the requirements to be selected for the next national team squad. That's the reality. He's playing well. He's playing in the top league. He has met all the requirements.
Yeah.
Fisadele Bashiru, who we love so much, is not performing at the level that Aribo is performing right now for the past
Mm-hmm.
few weeks. That's just the reality. So I I cannot knock Aribo getting selected. That's just it.
Yeah.
Especially when you say he's not been selected yet, it means that you are looking for him to do something more, something extra. What else are you looking for him to do? He's already performing well. If he doesn't get selected now, is it when he loses form? You now say, oh, you see, I was right. No, now while he's performing well, I feel like if he gets caught up, it will be a well deserved a well deserved one. X Code says, in my opinion, it is even a miracle that Boniface is playing football at the highest level, considering his injury history. He suffered two ACL injuries, but yet is still balling. Kudos to him. That's true. That speaks to his resilience, to his perseverance, to his drive to keep on coming back from injuries and to keep on playing at this kind of level. That's definitely something to commend him for. I will say that. Logistics Jeff says Aribo can definitely get called up. He won't start, but can come from the bench. Definitely. Okay. Adedotun says the coach should call up who he feels can get the job done for him. Ultimately, that's what is going to happen. The coach will choose who he feels will get the job done for him. Logistics Jeff says Boniface dodged the bullet. Now he can focus on Europe. Temi says, my Indidi Iwobi Onyedika Yusuf Santos are my five midfielders. You know what? I'm not even going to get into why Santos can't get into the team because some of you guys don't like to listen. Santos Uche played again today for Getafe in their big defeat against Atletico de Madrid. He personally had a good game, but once again, he did not play as a midfielder. It's only Nigerian fans that I've heard of that are asking for a striker to get called up into the midfield of our national team. Somebody will tell you, oh, but he used to play midfield before. He used to play midfield as a semi-pro player. As a professional, he plays as a striker, but somehow we should come and join the national team. Super Eagles as a midfielder, it cannot make sense to me. I'm sorry. He had a good game today, playing as a striker. I don't see how he gets into the Super Eagles as a midfielder. If that's the case, call us Samuel as a winger now. Shebi used to play wing before, even as a professional. So I don't know. When people keep on repeating this thing, I'm tired of talking about it. The same thing he says, Awoni not moving in January is making me angry. We don't know what kind of offers he had. We don't know if he had a good opportunity. We don't personally, I said it. I don't believe in people just upping and leaving when the going gets tough. Nottingham Forest are also on the verge of doing something potentially very incredible. I'm sure Taiwo would want to be a part of it,
Mm-hmm.
qualify for Europe. I'm sure he would want to be part of their success. What if they somehow go and win the league now? You've
Mm-hmm.
gone to another club. You
Yeah.
will now miss out on all the joy. So
Mm-hmm.
if I were him, I'll probably still stay. The reality of it is that at a point, he was the one starting, he was the one benching Chris Wood. He got
Yeah.
injured. Chris Wood came. Chris Wood is in the form of his life. Absolute
Mm-hmm.
best form he has ever been in. All of a sudden, you're on the bench. So now leave. Who is now? If literally every bench player leaves, who clubs do not have bench again now?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm not mad at the fact that Aboni did not leave. He should just keep on working. All I'm asking is for Espirito Santo to give him more than 8 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you are winning a match 5-0. Bring him on. Like, bring him on. Like, why are you saving him for when there's only 8 minutes left in the game? And he still did decent in those 8 minutes, but still, like, give him a good chance to actually score goals. I know that there's FA Cup this weekend. Is it this weekend? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Awoni will probably start in the FA Cup, but Santos should give him minutes, man. Like, especially when you are winning the game comfortably, give him 30 minutes, give him 40 minutes, let him try and show himself,
Mm.
Even if you want him to leave, it's not by him playing and showing that other teams will come and see him and say, okay, we want to sign this player. But
Yeah,
if I were Awoni, I would stay because Forest might be doing something incredible this season. And I'm
yeah.
sure he would want to be a part of it. If they qualify for Champions League, sure, would no go want play champs next season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Let me see. Adeboye says, "Why God forbid for Man U?" If you're asking that question, even if you put laughing emoji, you yourself know say
Mm-hmm.
that question. Don't they serious?
Uh-huh.
if the only person that wants to join Man U now is if you're not a footballer,
Mm-hmm.
Man U come for you, then you gotta collect
Yeah,
their
no.
money. But please, Man U is a struggling team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fun fact: I won't mention any names. One of the last was it the last episode or 2 episodes ago when I spoke a little bit about Man U and their coach. One of our dear friends of the podcast, I know he's going to watch this podcast if he's not already here live, was arguing with me in the comments. IoT, he said, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't watch, just you're telling me stick to Nigerian football. You don't know what you're talking about. You know the problem with Man U, as if I don't watch football globally. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Ruben Amorim is okay. If they don't have the tools, he doesn't have the tools, blah, blah, blah. I said, you people said Ten Hag was such a bad coach. You can't sack Ten Hag. You brought a coach that is doing worse than Ten Hag, but you want to be blaming the players. The same players that Ten Hag had that you said he was the one that was bad. Somebody came and met those players and he's doing worse. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not him that is bad, it's the other
Yeah.
players. The man has convinced you that Rashford is this terrible player. They've shipped Rashford out to Aston Villa. Watch how Rashford will do well in Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm.
The coach is not adaptable. The coach is struggling. Man U fans have been brainwashed by him into blaming players for every small thing. You will watch your team fight relegation this season. You people before you will learn. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but he's not getting it right. He's
Yeah.
not getting that at all. Because he comes and he speaks to you people straightforward, you think, oh, I know, you trust him, let him do what he's doing. Yeah, all of a sudden dragging with Tottenham and West Ham and Everton. It's shame no they catch you now, but you keep on defending the coach. Instead of it to even Chelsea that while we're still in the top four contest, you see, Chelsea fans have been criticizing Maresca because he's
Mm-hmm.
getting things wrong on certain days.
Yeah.
But you are nearly going for relegation battle. You are defending coach every day. Oh, the players are so bad. In their weekend game, they played against Crystal Palace, lost 2-0. He said, hey, that this person told me that he's proving a point to the board by not playing a striker. And I said, oh, well, wait to show them. No, you lost the game. Oh, you've proven your point, Abby. What
Mm-hmm.
does that do for you? Instead of me to do what you need to do to win a game, you say you want to prove
Mm-hmm.
points to the
For
board.
me, I see them playing Premier League like a friendly game. I
Man,
don't
you,
see them
man, you
see
just they give people points, but
points.
let me not spend too much time on them.
Yeah.
Um, Olimide says, please, guys, like the video for goodness sakes. Thank you, Olimide. Please, if you are watching this, like the video. It's a little way that you can support. Liking is absolutely free, and it sends a message to the platform that we're producing good content. It helps us to reach more people. They can show it to more people, and it puts a smile on my face and on Smith Layi's face. So please, guys, if you are watching, whether live, whether on replay, just like the video. Even if you're on your TV, you can use your TV remote to still like the video.
Like the video.
Please, guys, it's the least that you can do to support us. If you want to support us financially, you can leave a super chat. But a lot of people don't leave super chats. So please just like the video. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. Uche says he has played as an eight, talking about Chrysanthus Uche. Again, eight is not a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what exactly you're talking about. Eight is not a midfielder. He's a forward. He has
Mm-hmm.
played 2 matches in midfield this season. Two.
Mm-hmm.
Two. No matter how you want to stretch it, he has been playing as a forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let me see. Let me see. Somebody says Uche can play from midfield if Super Eagles coach wants him to play there. He's better than all our midfielders now with power to run around. There is literally zero evidence to prove that he's better than all our midfielders. That is just your random assumption. There is no evidence to prove that. I am not a fan of disrespecting people that are doing something week in, week out, and you just come and randomly say that he can is better than all of them. There is literally no evidence to prove that. He is doing well as a forward. That's all we can say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let me see. Somebody said the same players that Ten Hag bought, he couldn't use them to achieve anything. But the new coach comes in and you expect him to bring out the best of them. Person will buy them, no see anything to do with them. Again, the new coach is coming in and doing worse. The
Mm-hmm.
supposed better coach is doing worse. I don't know how you're justifying that. You must be a Man U fan. I don't know how you're
Let's
justifying
leave
that.
these Man U people. They will drag into this argument too.
This person says Uche is a utility player and is very important to Super Eagles right now. Somebody that is not in the team is very important. How? He has never made the team yet. He is very important in the Super Eagles. I don't know how you people are drawing a conclusion. If he gets called up, he'll thank his God. I doubt if he's going to get called up. But let's see. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said eight is a midfielder. Eight is not a midfielder. Eight is a supporting striker.
Mm-hmm.
Eight is a forward. How is eight a midfielder? I don't know football again. Midfielders are this thing. Was Oscar a? I guess if you maybe you're looking at it as a cam, Oscar was an eight. Would you call Oscar a midfielder? Is Oscar going to battle position with Mikel in Chelsea or with any of those people?
No, no.
So I'm not sure how people are saying eight is a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Eight is not a midfielder. I'm actually thinking about it. It's like number eight is not a midfielder.
Right.
No,
Nobody can play midfield actually.
it depends on the setup, but eight is not like you don't. Well, someone say eight is a midfielder in a 4-3-3. It depends on the setup, but you're
Mm-hmm.
not really going to consider somebody that plays as an eight as a midfield player. But
Mm-hmm.
let's not debate that.
All right.
You know what's funny? The um the number system. I found
Mm-hmm.
out that it's even different from country to country.
Yeah.
I remember when I was working with a Belgian guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember who we were talking about. I think it was a defender. And I was like, oh, he's a number five. He's a number five. And the guy was like, how can he be a number five? I said, he's a number five now. He plays center back. And the guy was like, what are you talking about? Ayo, no, five is not a center back. I can't remember
Mm-hmm.
what he said five was. And then we looked it up. And then I realized that in some countries, the number system is
Yeah.
very different.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. So it depends on how you look at it. I personally don't look at number eight as midfielders, honestly. I
Mm-hmm.
look
Mm-hmm.
at fours and sixes as midfielders.
Yeah. For
Um,
example, now is that number 8 position in football is a central midfielder who plays between the defense and the attack. That is a different thing. Now. So let's just do that. If them.
but let's not even get into a battle about number eight. For me, Crisandos Uche is playing as a forward. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care what position anybody thinks he actually plays or he played before he joined Getafe. I would only judge him based on the position that he actually plays now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me. I'll
Yeah.
judge him based on the position that he actually plays now. He does not play as a midfielder. Whether he's a runner or not, again, in fact, let's not get into this argument because a lot of people don't watch. A lot of people just talk. I don't see like, oh, runner. When did you watch him run with the ball?
Mm.
When did you see him run with the ball? When did you see him drive the ball forward? Aribo can drive the ball forward. You're saying Aribo can't.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is attacking me, said all is football knowledge, yet you don't know eight is a midfielder. What number was Scholes and Gascoigne? What about one Adequaju? Fair enough. See, I'm not arguing. Eight is a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Crisanto Suche is not a midfielder.
Yeah.
It all depends on how you set up your team. If there's no 10, 8 is going to play in midfield. If there's
Yeah.
a 10, it really just depends on how you set up your team. But I understand. My apologies, guys. I was wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
Crisantos Uche is
Mm-hmm.
not is not a midfielder. Crisantos Uche is a forward.
Mm-hmm.
Center forward, left forward. Those are the positions that he's been playing. He has
Mm-hmm.
played 2 games in midfield. 2 games.
Yeah.
2 games. Okay. Let's move into transfers. Let's move into transfers. Shout out to every man you find, man. You guys suck. But yeah, let's move into transfers. Um, let's talk about a transfer that did not involve a Nigerian player, but potentially has an impact on a Nigerian player. We saw we saw Galatasaray, Victor Osimhen's Galatasaray, make a big signing. They signed Alvaro Morata from AC Milan. They let Batshuayi go, and then they brought in Morata. Now, Morata is someone that everybody knows about. He has played for all the top clubs. Not all, obviously, I'm exaggerating, but he has played everywhere. He has played for Juve, he has played for
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, for Real Madrid, for Milan. Now he's taking his talents to
Atletico Madrid.
for Atletico de Madrid. Yeah, now he's taking his talents to Turkey to go
Mm-hmm.
and play with and for Galatasaray.
Mm-hmm.
Smith,
Yeah.
do you think this can potentially impact Victor Osimhen anyway, whether positively, negatively? Do you think this can impact him?
Yeah, for me, I think they're planning for life after Victor Osimhen because it's no longer news that Napoli put in a bid of like they they started putting a bid of like 65 million euros for Victor Osimhen, and Napoli rejected it. So immediately Napoli rejected it, they realized that they can easily actually get Murata. They went for Murata. So it's just like planning for life after Victor Osimhen. That's what Napoli. That's what Gala is trying to actually want to do. And don't forget, they still have Mario Icardi, on the treatment table. And so, you can't just, there's no way you can play if Icardi is fit, Murata is fit, Victor Osimhen is fit. How do you want to play them? Even the game I saw Murata play, the last game they played, was yesterday. That I was so surprised when Victor and Murata was playing together. They were just like it wasn't balanced. So I think they know that Victor Osimhen will not be there next season. So they're looking for ways to actually to replace him before other clubs actually will get Morata. Morata is a big name.
Was the
After
Morata signing, was he a loan or is permanent?
I think it was a loan also.
Okay, so if it was a loan, isn't Morata still going to leave them as well?
A loan, but what's it called? Obligation to buy.
Okay.
Yes. So for me, I think I think they're just trying to plan for life after Victor Osimhen. So I think Victor already had a meeting with them and he told them that he's doing actually want to leave, but I just think that it's a sign that could impact Victor moving in a different direction next summer.
And I mean, interestingly enough, Galatasaray were trying to make the Victor Osimhen transfer permanent this
Yes.
January, but
Yes.
Napoli refused to accept their offers.
Mhm.
For me, as far as how we can impact Victor Osimhen, the only thing that I see it potentially doing is it can light a fire under his bum bum.
Mhm.
Morata is not going to bench him.
Mhm.
Victor Osimhen is their star striker. He's going
Mhm.
to start.
Mhm.
But they know that they have that fallback option. They know that they have another quality striker, proven striker that has played across the world with a lot of experience. That if they need somebody to come in and assist, if Osimhen gets injured, if Osimhen, like already Osimhen is suspended for their playoff game in the Europa League, the first leg, they can play this other striker and they don't feel like they are losing out on something. But ultimately, I think what it's going to do is it's going to light the fire under his bomb bomb. Because the reality of it is that Osimhen brings a different skill set to the game than Alvaro Morata,
Mhm.
but Morata also does certain things that Osimhen doesn't do as well.
Yeah.
So Osimhen is going to know that now there is quality competition. It's not when he's competing with Batshuayi. Everybody, no disrespect to Batshuayi, but Batshuayi is not sniffing Osimhen's boots, But at least Morata is somebody that can ginger him.
Mhm.
You need to score more goals, especially from open play. You need to impact the game more. And if he's not, somebody can potentially rest him for a game or two. I don't think it's going to happen. I believe so much in Osimhen's ability, but I think it is something that can impact him positively in terms of just giving him that ginger, giving him that extra motivation. He can even learn from Morata in training because Morata is a well-traveled, experienced striker, and it can only make Osimhen better. I believe so. So yes, that one for me, I don't think it's anything that Osimhen should be worried about or Nigerian fans should be worried about. Let's just see how it works. Maybe sometimes they can play together. Sometimes Morata can come off the bench, and it's just going to make Osimhen work harder and do so much better. That's what I think so. Shout out to Victor Osimhen, our Nigerian star boy. I was happy that he scored from open play finally against Ajax, and long may it continue. Long may it continue. Okay, now let us get into transfers involving Nigerian players. This first one is Milai. I don't know how to talk about this because you usually have more knowledge of players that are still based in Nigeria than I do. My knowledge is usually based on Nigerian players abroad. We saw two young Nigerian players make a move to join Lillestrøm SK in Norway. Lillestrøm, of course, is a team that a bunch of Nigerian players have represented in the past. And these two boys, Tochi Ogboji and Paroko Areri, have signed for the club. Smith, like, what can you tell us about these young players and about this move?
Let me just start with Parubo Ariri. I think a lot of people will know Parubo Ariri because of his exploits in Beyond Limit. He was one of the best players during the Varijo Cup. He played well during the CCC League. It's a local league they do in Lagos. And he's been scoring goals like no man's business in for Beyond Limit. So, and he also took that one to Nigeria too. He was a top scorer for Nigeria at the under 20 Wafubi tournament that took place in Togo, late last year. So it's a guy, say, I have to say this thing. I've never seen a talent as good as Paribu Ariri leaving Nigeria since Brandy Day.
Even Victor Osimhen.
No, no. The skill set that Paribu Ariri is got is not the realm of Victor.
No, no, no. You said you've never seen a talent
Yes.
leaving
I can,
Nigeria
I can
as
prove.
good since Brownie Day.
Yes.
Osimhen left Nigeria after a day. So what you
No.
are telling us is that the talent that Parapo has at this age is
Uh-huh.
more than the talent that Osimhen had when he left.
Yeah.
That's big talk, Osmi.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
people are
So
people are going to hold you to this word, though.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, go on.
Yes, he's Victor Osimhen developed when he left. I watched Victor Osimhen in the year. When he went to go and play the African Activity Championship. And so I know him. I know he did well at the World Cup, but he's a different striker to Paraguay. Paraguay can play ball,
Hmm,
can play with his leg, a proper baller. Like, it's not all about finishing. He's got a good, he can also finish too. Strong in the hair, he can also finish too. But it's just like he can play the ball, he can take on defender. That is one thing that makes him different. And the last time I saw a player like that was Brandy Day, for Ocean Boys,
hmm.
of brass, and I wasn't surprised when Brandy Day, went to do what he did for Nigeria, won the AFCON and everything. So for me, I am also happy with his minders too, that they are starting with a smaller club because he got offers from top European clubs, but I think he's starting from a Norwegian league, which is going to actually really help him develop very well.
Okay.
And for Toshi Ogboji, a lot of people should know him from Unduka Gbadi 2017. He was their left center defender, a very, very good and young player, And you agree with me that a left-footed center defender is not what we see in markets these days, and they are of high demand, when you are a left
The
footer.
last one that we got, he never show up, oh, but go on.
So for me, it's a guy that is very, very good player. Though, and he can play with the ball. That is what even makes him stands out. And another thing I see with him is that he can also play as a left back. That's the one thing about him. So I'm happy that he went through several trials. In Lillestrøm before he could like got this deal. He's a guy that we should watch out for in the nearest future. I would like the under-20 coach to try and invite him. He's still within the age limit to play in the next under-20. Though, it's just a player that they were victims of Nigeria not qualifying for the under-17 World Cup. If Nigeria had qualified for the under-17 World Cup, he would not go on trial. You
Hmm.
know, as all the smarty boys, that they went to top European, he will not go on trial because top European club will see him and they will sign him. I'm happy for Toshu and also Paribu Ariri. But for me, watch out for Paribu Ariri.
Hmm. Watch out for Paraguay. I've seen, I had seen a few of his clips on social media. His goals. You're right, he can play ball. I don't know. I'm just always skeptical when it comes to buying stock in Nigerian players at youth level because we see so many bright talents and then they are not able to translate it into professional
Mhm.
football. That's not to mean that this guy is not going to do well. I obviously don't know him all that well. I've not watched him play that much, but
Inspiration.
I'm happy to see to hear the things that you are saying about him. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to every game that he plays for Lillestrøm. I'm going to be following up with his development, and I really do hope that these players can turn out to be quality players for us. The Nigerian academy system is producing a lot of quality football players. One day, I wish I can do an interview with what's his name, the Beyond Limits guy.
Olimide.
No, 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 not even the coach, the owner.
Oh, no. Okay, okay, okay. Kule Shame.
Yes, Shoname. Just to talk about the academic system in
I think
Nigeria,
you will agree.
give us a better understanding of how these things work, why the academic system is succeeding way more than like an MPFL or an NNL. And just try to get a better understanding. I'll see if that's something that I can set up. But I'm happy to hear the hype that you're giving to Baroko, especially. We've had some bright talents like Umakali, all that kind of people. Awodi was such a bright talent in his time as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of them have done good things, but
Mm-hmm.
the way you're talking about this boy, I'm
This,
going
this,
to be.
this boy is a different breed. And watch out for his brother too. Then like, that one is still
Yes,
16.
I know he has a younger brother as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one is playing for Naija at 17.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I'll be watching. I'll be watching. I'm excited now. You've got me excited to watch these young players.
Yeah.
Let's see how things go. Let's see
Mm-hmm.
how things go for them. See, Temi said, "Osimhen will break on a 17 record. Is that split? Olaiwola error."
You don't mind. Don't mind, tell me.
Okay. Let's talk about another transfer that happened. This one was a young Nigerian player that has taken his talents all the way from Bulgaria to England. I'm talking about Christian Nwachukwu. Christian Nwachukwu has joined Sheffield United in the AFL Championship. This is a boy that I've been watching because
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching Bottle Plovdiv because they have quite a number of Nigerian players in their team, or one less now. And honestly, he's a bright talent. He's a bright talent. He's somebody that's at the youth level balled for Bottle Plovdiv's second team. Moving over to their first team, he wasn't able to translate the number of goal contributions over to first team, but he was putting in quality performances. But I know that the way or the reason why Sheffield United signed him is because he meets all the metrics when you look at numbers in terms of his pace, in terms of the chances that he creates, in terms of his passing, in terms of his dribbling, in terms of the efforts. The guy completes 5 dribbles per game. That's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
That's not normal. He knows how to beat a man.
Mm-hmm.
And Sheffield United have analyzed all this data, and that's why they signed him. Even though the statistics don't jump out at you in terms of goals and assists, the boy has a lot of underlying elements that can make a quality winger, a quality forward, a quality football player. And I'm really, really hoping that, and even a quality midfielder because he plays in midfield a lot of the time. I'm really, really hoping that this boy goes on to do good things for Sheffield United. Sheffield United, of course, is a team that has decent, good ambitions in England. We know that, of course, they've been a Premier League team. Right now, they are fighting to get promotion again. They are third in the league. So, if things go well for him next season, he can be playing in the Prem. And
Mm-hmm.
that's another Nigerian player that's been playing in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of him, but if you are a risky investor, you can put some money on his stocks,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a chance that it can be like Bitcoin. If you buy early, in 10 years, we might be smiling to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I like him as a player. I've watched him. Of the three players that I really used to pay attention to in both of Plovdiv, there was Onwachuku, there was Samuel Akere, and there
Mm-hmm.
was Ehije Ukaki.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Ukaki. I'm surprised that somebody has not come for him yet. But Onwachukwu is another player that I liked as well. And I'm happy that Sheffield United were able to identify him and they've signed him. I'm sure the boy will enjoy living in England, and let's see how it goes. Smith Layi, you're in the UK, so call him or take him to your corner. May he start to see all those in it babes. May he get distraction. May, let him focus on his football, do what he needs to do. And I honestly believe that this is a boy that can go very far if he keeps his head down, keeps improving, and things work out in his favor. But like, what do you want to say about Christian Nwachukwu to
I
Sheffield
think you
United?
said it all. They signed potential. That is what they actually what they did. And this is a guy that I think he will surprise most Nigerians. When he start playing for Sheffield United, and it's unknown. It's not popular at home. A lot of people even say, "Who is this guy?" But I know that he's a guy that did not pass through the Nigeria grade system. And that escape from the Nigeria grade system, and we did not even scouts. So academic products coming to Europe. So I saw him. He's a player that I really like. And I would say he's similar to Ademola Lookman. And I will say something like this: he doesn't even like to play. He's not content playing the final pass alone. He
Mm,
also likes the through ball. He can also come for the through ball. That's what we don't get in Simon. We don't get that one. Simon likes to play Van Bass. He doesn't come for that through ball. Those
mm,
one twos. Chidera Duke too. We likes to dribble. Anywhere, if there's 10 people there, we like to dribble. But this guy is just, what makes him stand out for me is his intelligence. The
mm,
way he moves, the way he moves around the box, and he's a very, very dangerous player. I just hope that he can stay grinded. I hope that maybe you think it's number. I'm not saying he's number. So that village people will not be calling him. I think I think it should be fine. For me, I think it's another talent we should watch out for. It might not be this year, but next year I see him actually doing well. He should think about him doing well because this is how Igalo started.
mm,
Igalo came from Granada to championship in Watford, and he did well. Got promoted with Watford, and
mm,
the rest they say is now history. So he can also do badly. In all honesty, because when you consider the positive one, there's a bad one too. A Nigerian player came from Tanzania, and he's been chopping me. I don't know where he's been posting highlights. So it's not a super good player. He's not been playing well in the top division.
mm,
So it can go either way. So it's for him to now think that he wants to perform well. With the potential I saw, with everything I saw, he should just make sure that he actually performs well. For me, I tip him to be playing the Premier League. Yeah. Just finally, since they sold Njai, I'm talking about Sheffield United, they've not been able to get a direct replacement.
mm,
Now Njai is doing his thing in Everton. Maybe Unwachuku will be the Njai for them now. Time will tell.
mm, mm. Somebody's correcting me. His name is Kparobo, not Kparopo. So my apologies for that if he's watching or somebody that knows him is watching. But again, these are the mistakes that people make when you're still a small footballer. Don't worry. When if you become a star, I won't mess your name up. But my
Yeah,
apologies. His name is Kparobo, not
yeah.
Po. But yeah, wishing him all the best, and of course, Cristiano Nwachuku also wishing him all the best. Somebody says Nwachuku's move is a bad move, in my opinion, too early. He should move to another developmental league. You know, I can understand what you're saying, but again, if he does well, things will go well for him. He's not immediately jumping into the Prem. The championship is not easy, but I think he has the ability to succeed over there. I think he has the ability to succeed. Sheffield United is not a team that is just going to sit a quality player on the bench because they have so much quality. If he's able to stand out, he will get game time. He will play. He will develop. They signed him to develop him because even when the sporting director and the coach were speaking about the signing, they reference the fact that they know that he's still very raw as a football player, Nwachukwu. They
Mm-hmm.
reference the fact that they know that he still has things that he needs to improve on. But it's part of their new transfer strategy. They want to get young, talented players, they want to improve them and be able to achieve success with them and hopefully sell them. Ultimately, Sheffield United wants to sell them. So it all depends on how things go for him. It all depends on how things go for him. But shout out to Christian Nwachukwu, wishing you all the very best in this new adventure. I'll be interested in watching him play. We have a number of Nigerian players. All of a sudden now we have a number of Nigerian players in the championship. So let's see how that goes. Another young player has taken his talents to England. This one, he moved from Belgium. He moved from Belgium all the way in Belgium and is now going to be playing in England. I'm talking about a player that I know fairly well, that I talk to every now and then, and I'm happy. I remember when Ejuke left, when Alassane Yusuf left,
Jenny
the boy
Kena.
when the boy was telling me, say, this is not what people told me. Oh, I thought we were all here together. All of a sudden now, and I don't leave me come out, And then now he has made his own move to join Southampton in the English Premier League. I'm talking about Victor Udo. This guy is a talented young winger, quick on the ball, strong indoors, can pick out a pass, can score a goal when he needs to. And unfortunately, opportunities have just not been so forthcoming for him playing over there in Belgium. And now he's going to be hoping to prove himself in England. On the Southampton website, they wrote that he's initially going to be linking up with their under 21 team. So they want to see how he can hold his own in that under 21 level. And if he does well there, then they would progress him into the first team. Of course, Southampton right now, you can understand why they will do that. He's not a player that is proven. Of course, they are in a tough place in the English Premier League. They're not just going to sign a relatively unknown talent and immediately just say, "Oh, come and play in our first team." And he's young, so they want to see if he does well in the under 21s. It won't take long for him to get promoted into the first team because they need all the help they can get. And I'm really hoping that he's able to prove himself and is able to show his worth. Of course, he has a good agent, Elite Sports Group, so not too surprising that they're able to work out a deal like this for him. They have good connections in England,
Hmm.
and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's able to do. Three Nigerian Southampton now. They probably will get relegated, but it's funny because I even think that if they get relegated, it might even be better for him to go and develop a little bit better in the championship than
Hmm.
just coming to the thick of the English because the Premier League can be a very unforgiving league. Oh. And if
Yeah.
you just have five bad games in England in the Premier League, people just look at you as you're a nobody. You're not even a good player at all. Nobody wants to take a chance on you again. So
Hmm.
I really, really hope that he does well. And whatever happens with Hampton in their with their Premier League status, I believe that Southampton can be a good place for him to develop. If you look at Southampton in the past, they're a team that develops players and sells them. The likes of Sadio Mane, the likes of Van Dijk, all started in Southampton, and there are many other players like that. So if he does well, Southampton can be a good place for him to develop and then eventually move on to greater heights and to a better team. But Smila, what are your thoughts on Victor Udo's
No.
transfer? And so before you go, just to give guys context, he has signed a 3.5 year deal with Southampton, so he's there for the foreseeable future. Smila, your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, good move for him. But for me, it's a shocker. I will not lie to you, for a player that has not been playing on a regular basis in Antwerp in
That's
Belgium.
the power of a good agent.
Yes, he just got to move to San. I was like, nobody give you this, but now he's actually now playing the Premier League. For me, I knew him first when he was part of the Nigeria under 17 team, during the COVID under 17, under coach Fataya Mao. And good guy, good guy. What I like about him is he's hardworking. That's one thing about him. He's hardworking. The way he puts, he's old fashioned winger. We don't really have that one, these days. So it's someone that can load with crosses, can just is that type of player. So, and I knew that when Antwerp saw him, they didn't take time before they could promote him to their first team self,
Yeah.
because of the potential in him. For me, I think I don't know, maybe when he's married now, I don't know. Maybe I think
Is he married?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's married now. I don't know. But I was saying something similar like that. So, but if he's married and he's settled and everything, I think it's going to be better for him. In the Premier League. So just stay and settle and focus on his football. He's in good hands. He's going to be with Porto Noashu. He's going to be with Joe Aribo, and maybe probably let's do Geshuku. They're going to put him in the right direction in the Premier League. So for me, I don't see him staying so long in the Premier in the what's it called in the youth team.
Under
I
21.
see, yes, I see him even making his Premier League debut before the end of the season. And people have compared his move to like, why can't he learn from Benjamin Frederick? See, Frederick's case is a different case. I don't want to go deeply into it. I'll just wish Victor Odo the very best of luck. Shows that our academy are producing good players. So I'm happy that they're coming out from Nigeria and they're doing better things.
Yeah. And I would also just say, like, Frederick also did not have first team experience. This boy already has first team experience.
Experience, yes.
This boy, if I'm not mistaken, has already won the league with Antwerp.
Yes, yes.
Yes, he has already won the
Mhm.
league in Belgium with Antwerp. Even though he was not a key player, but he
Mhm.
has good first team experience. He has had a good run of games with them. So he's not coming into this without understanding what is required of him. It's now just for him to be able to show
Yeah.
he can step up and
Mhm.
perform at this higher level.
Yeah.
So I like Victor Odo. He's a young player that I talk to every now and then. He's 20 years of age, and I really hope that things go well for him. I really, really do. Okay, before we go into some of the transfers involving more senior players, let us take comments because some people have been leaving comments. Logistics Jeff said, "How can you buy stocks in football players?" I'm not familiar with that. It's not a literal thing, it's a metaphorical thing. It's just a joke, But essentially, if you start telling people about somebody today when he's relatively unknown, in 4 years' time, if a person becomes a star, you can always lay claim to the fact that, hey, I put you on. I told you about this guy. I invested early, and now he has blossomed. So it's the way I've been telling people about Victor Boniface since before half. What am I saying? Since before, out of the 93 people that are watching this right now, I was probably talking about him when only three people that were watching knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And many players like that. I remember the first time I spoke about Frank Onyeka, people were like, who? First time I spoke about Educate, people were asking me who. So many different players like that I've been watching for a while. And I when I see a player that I really like, I invest early. Um, but I don't just be investing all the time. You have to really, really show me something. But yeah, somebody is telling you nice forest shirts. So like that's a comment for you. John
Yeah.
Jones says he should have moved to Belgium or France, but anyways, good move. Okay. Ah, so like person they feel you. Is that why are these two guys so gorgeous? Smilayi is married. Me, I'm a single man. But so if you're a woman, if you're a man, don't hit me up. If you're a woman, you can hit me up. We can. But Smilayi is married. Um, Timmy says, see Fredericks, his brother who hasn't materialized yet. What a young player needs is game time. Okay, I think this guy maybe Smilayi was addressing his comments earlier, but like same difference. Somebody had played first team, another person hadn't played first team.
Mm-hmm.
Frederick was trying to develop. It's different, it's different. Frederick also joined Brentford. Brentford is has different requirements
Mm-hmm.
from what's it called, from Southampton.
Yes.
Um, Let me see. Adeotun says Victor Odo should just keep his head down and do what he's in Southampton to do. Is Southampton a bubbling city? I've never been to Southampton.
It's a student city.
A student
So
city.
city here.
So it's his age mates that will be there.
No. Like it's good. It's a good place.
But why would he be married at 20? I'll be
No,
shocked.
I don't know. I don't for sure, but I'm just hearing that. That's what I
Mm.
don't know.
Maybe he has a serious babe, but
Maybe okay,
married.
maybe a serious girl. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Nevertheless, wish him all the best. Let's
yeah.
move on. We have a couple more transfers to talk about. Time is already going, man. Time flies. Okay. I'll start with a Nigerian player, someone who has been hoping to play for Nigeria for a number of years now. Has now made a move, leaving the Netherlands and taking his talents to France. France, of course, the French Ligue 1 is a league that we've seen different Nigerian players in recent times blossom. The likes of Akko has had a good stint in France. Terry Murphy has had a good stint in France. Victor James Osimhen has, of course, had a good stint in France. And now the next player to take that leap to the French Ligue 1 is Chuba Akwam. Chuba Akwam has joined LOSC Lille from AFC Ajax, where things were not too great for him. He has, of course, joined on a loan until the end of the season. And of course, notably, he has been waiting for a Nigeria call up since 2019 when he switched his allegiance. Smidlai, what can you say about this Chuba Akpom move? And do you think playing in France, playing in Lille, he made his debut today, interestingly enough, in the Coupe de France. He
Yeah.
scored his penalty in the shootout, but
Mm.
I think they lost the game on penalties.
Yeah.
Very disappointing for them to lose against a team that is maybe playing in the fourth division of French
Mhm.
football. But now that he's playing in Lille, do you think he has a much better chance of getting his Super Eagles Club finally? What do you have to say?
So for me, I think it's going to be monitored closely by Eric Chile because now Chile lives in France. He's French. He's going to be monitoring in close quarters. So and I think that yeah, that one will also help him too. I think he joined Lille because he wants to play in his best position. He wants to play in the position that he can actually thrive. He believes that Ajax are not playing in that position and he wants to do well. So for me, I think playing regularly in Lille will get him to the Super Eagles Saturday. And he's also, don't forget that we also had players in Lille too. Victor Osimhen, played in Lille. Nyama played in Lille. And both of them, they had their own when they were actually playing. That's Montes Club. So for me, I think, he's going to be going there with that thing that, oh, you're a Nigerian. Victor Osimhen did this thing when he was here. So for me, I also think that he's going to actually he's going to thrive in the Ligue 1 and get his Super Eagles call up.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I think for me, the Super Eagles Club all depends on his performance level.
yeah.
Of course, if he can play at the kind of level that he was playing when he was in the Borough, then there is no reason why he won't earn a call up. In fact, I feel like he should have earned this call up, or he earned this call up. He just didn't get it back then.
Hmm.
But at Ajax, things have not been going so great for him. He sits on the bench a lot of the time. comes on for a couple minutes here and there, always behind the Brobby.
Mm-hmm.
When Bergwijn was there, he was behind. So it's always been tough for him to get into the team and play consistently at Ajax. But at Lille, maybe he has a better chance. I don't think he's not going to play as a striker. He's probably going to play as a supporting striker or a number
Yeah.
10
Mm-hmm.
behind Jonathan David. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully things can go well for him. If he can score a couple of goals, March is too early for him, but we can look at maybe June. If he can do well between now and June,
Mm-hmm.
maybe he can get a spot in the squad. I
Yeah.
like that's one of the things that I like about the fact that he's Eric Shell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to believe that he's going to have an open mind and
Mm-hmm.
assess everybody fairly, assess them based on their merit and their level of performance. And if you see somebody that is doing well that can help his team, then why
Mm-hmm.
not?
Why
Why
not?
not? So I'm wishing him all the very best. Chuba Akwam, um, maybe he should do more to connect with the Nigerian audience because he's too distant from Nigerians. Maybe if he was closer to Nigerians, talking more, people would fight for him more. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I just think he's a bit too distant from Nigerians. But let's move on. Another player made a transfer. This one is a Super Eagles player, probably Super Eagles fans' favorite player to hate. Has joined Blackburn Rovers in the AFL Championship on a loan for the rest of the season. I'm talking about our homegrown Init boy, born and raised in Nigeria, but part of wants to be part of the Init boys. Of course, I'm referring to Emmanuel Dennis Bonaventure. I don't know why he's not smiling in this photo. He just signed for club. At least smile now. Let it look like you're happy to be here. But he has joined Blackburn Rovers on loan from Nottingham Forest for the rest of the season. Of course, Bonaventure Dennis has been out of action for this entire season so far. I don't think he has gotten a single minute. Has he? You know, I
No.
don't.
You're signed.
No, no, no. I'm saying for Forest.
No, 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 no,
They didn't play him even a single minute, whether in cup or
no,
in anything.
no.
That situation. Only God knows what really happened behind the scenes,
Yeah,
but obviously there's no hope for him there. So
yeah.
now in Blackburn is a team that is trying to compete, also trying to get promoted. They're currently fifth on the table. So a lot of Nigerian boys are going to be in the promotion fights
Mm-hmm.
in the championship, but they are fifth in the table, and I'm hoping that things can go well for him. I'm really hoping that he can get back to playing football. Dennis is one of those players that you can see the talent.
Yeah.
We saw it at Club Brugge. We saw
Mm-hmm.
it at Watford. The
Mm-hmm.
talent is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the other things that make a football player that don't seem to be there. The talent is undoubted.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he's not going to be the first talented player. Famously, we know like someone like Mario Balotelli,
Mm-hmm.
super talent, but unfortunately, he did not have the kind of career that he could have had. Even though he played for his country, did well for his country, did well for different clubs, but
Mm-hmm.
we know that Balotelli could have done even more if he
Mm-hmm.
was very focused and was disciplined and all the rest of the things.
Mm-hmm.
So Dennis is a similar thing. I know when he looks at where he came from to where he is today, he has won in life.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can tell him that he didn't win from where he started from to where he is today.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I feel like he's leaving things on the table. I
Yeah.
feel like he can do better than what he's doing. He can go further than where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
So he shouldn't feel comfortable. I really hope that this Blackburn Rovers move goes well for him. Don't fight anybody in Blackburn. Just go there, play your football, be humble. I know
Mm-hmm.
that he has deleted his social media. I don't know if that's because people were attacking him or he wanted to just he probably still has his Finsta, but his main page has not been there for a little while. So he
Mm-hmm.
should just stay focused, stay grounded, be humble, play your football, score goals again. And I believe that there is so much more that Dennis still has to give. He's currently 27 years old,
Mm-hmm.
so he can still give another 4 5 years at the top level.
Yeah.
But he needs to apply himself properly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wishing him all the best. Smith, your thoughts on Emmanuel Dennis's move to Blackburn Rovers?
Yes, forgotten super ego player, and I'm happy that it's actually worth playing because a lot of people have been, if it's not popular among the foreign fans, because they believe that he's just trying to hold the club to rise up by staying there and be collecting. I don't know how much he's paying, maybe 60K per week or so. And
I
because
don't think they will pay him up to 60.
no, I'm talking about in the forest.
Forest. No, I don't. Forest
I
60.
said it's 60. Oh.
That's what they said.
Mm.
If not me, sef, I no go comot.
So if it's 60, that is a 240. Per month. It's something. No. So I think it's that he also wants to. he do well and not play well. He's going to a league that he knows very well. He has played for Watford there in the league, and he has performed well. I don't think he got offers from Werder Bremen. He got offers from what's it called, from Italy, but I think he wanted to stay in this league. Don't forget that he was. I think he was once in Germany before. The
And
so
FC Cologne.
FC Cologne. So not in Germany did not go according to plan. So I think he wants to stay in a league that he understands very well. So I'm happy that he joined this club, and I hope that he can actually get himself back. And I can tell you that a lot of people will not believe this. The time that Dennis getted the AFCON call up in 2021, that was when the whole thing did not really turn out well because it was boiling that time. When it gets called up, Nigeria, don't try also. Just and don't try also. When you get the AFCON call up, then he stayed in Watford. And where's Watford today now? So, but I just hope that he can actually do well. This is a guy that on his day he can wreck anything
Mm.
on his day. But when is going to be his day? That's the problem. We don't know. We are not in sincere. Yeah, I wish him the best of luck.
No. What you just reminded me about that AFCON time is the same thing that this Ghanaian boy did, Fatao, where he wanted to establish himself in. He said he wants to establish himself in Leicester City,
Uh-huh.
so he did not go for AFCON with Ghana.
Uh-huh.
First match when he come playing, get red card. He are now suspended for the next three matches. Now the AFCON, Ghana did not take time to come back home. So you could
Uh-huh.
have easily gone there. You could have shown yourself on the African stage, even promoted
Yeah.
yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is, man. I really hope that things go well for Emmanuel Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
spoken to him. He's an interesting human being. He's an interesting guy. Um, I really wish him all the best. Me, I wish all Nigerian players the best. I want to
Yeah.
see all our players, if possible. Nigerian players should only be playing for Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, PSG, Juve, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, if possible.
Yeah.
Um, but of course, it's not possible. But I wish him all the best. Blackburn Rovers is the team that is competing for promotion this season. Hopefully, he
Mm-hmm.
can get promoted. If he can score 10 goals, people will look at him with good eyes again. And
Mm-hmm.
in the summer, we can see what kind of permanent transfer that he can
Yes.
make.
You can make.
Timmy says, I would have left England by now so that he will still have to level experience. Hmm. Is that money, man? That money. If you are collecting 60K and you're not performing, nobody wants to sign you and pay you that same 60K to come and not perform for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, if everybody wants, maybe they'll call him and say, oh, we'll pay you 25, we'll pay you 30. And right now, the life that the boy is living, he probably does not want to. I'm sure in that Nottingham now, if you see his apartment or his house now, he'll be living in. Because I think when he was in Watford, I think he went to go and the place he rented was Mourinho's former place.
Uh-uh.
So I said, that's high taste. You go rent apartment, where Mourinho live, where Mourinho day London.
Hmm.
So it's like you can see that that's high taste, big money
Yeah.
spender,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I can completely understand why he might not want to leave, Sha. But I mean, let's see how things go for him in Blackburn. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
somebody mentioned maybe also for him to get his documents to be able to live in the UK after he's done playing football as well. That's something that
You can proper any boys.
because again, that's something that is very unique to African players. A lot of the Europeans, they don't worry about these things because they are European. When they are done, they can go back to their country, or even if they stay in the other countries, nobody's going to be chasing them away. But
Mm-hmm.
for we now, you have to try to secure a permanent residency. You have to try to get passport if you can. If not, hmm, at least be able to
Yes,
prepare
you.
something for your family. Okay, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up. Last transfer that we'll talk about today before we just do an overview of the whole January window. Super Eagles player, senior man, Kelechi Iheanacho has joined Middlesbrough in the EFL Championship. Another Nigerian player in the Championship, another team that is trying to qualify for the promotion playoffs and get promoted into the English Premier League. Of course, it is not a secret that Kelechi Iheanacho had a torrid time at Sevilla. He was only able to score against semi-pro teams in the Copa del Rey. Things did not go his way in Sevilla at all. Sevilla, of course, signed Ako Adams to come and essentially replace him.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's taking a chance in the EFL Championship. Of course, Iheanacho has a reputation from his time playing in England before with Man City, with Leicester City. So it's not too surprising that a team in England would look at him and want to take another chance on him. Middlesbrough, of course, is a team that is coached by Michael Carrick, another quality player in his time. We've seen Carrick with Chuba Akpom in recent years, made Akpom into a quality player. So when you look at the other forwards that's what's it called that Middlesbrough have, Kelechi Iheanacho is essentially coming to be the most senior player in their attack. This could be a chance for him to revive himself. This could be a time for him to revive his career to show that he still has that quality. With someone like Kelechi, I think it's just about him staying focused, staying grounded, applying himself, working as hard as possible, and by the grace of God, things can go well for him. But Smilai, what are your thoughts on Kelechi Iheanacho's move to Middlesbrough in the championship?
I think it's it's good for him at least to escape the Spanish La Liga because it was horrible moment for him, like you mentioned earlier. There's one video of his that was trending on YouTube. When he drew the goalkeeper and he played the ball side netting and he was breathing so heavily. After just to tell you how I won't lie to you, it's really really declining, and him to still go back to the championship tells you that he's no longer improving again. So he's going down. So and maybe age, maybe something, but there's a fact that you have to bring it up is that so is no longer improving again. He's just a guy that is just trying to play football now and enjoy, which I think that for him too, I think it have been time for him to even quit national team because what is going on currently now is just like it's going down. You cannot say for the past 4 years or 3 years he has actually been performing. You cannot say
Mhm.
that he's been going down steadily and everything. So I hope he performed well for Boro. The last time he had to play well for Boro was Chibako, as we mentioned previously. It's called like almost 30 goals or so when he was playing for Boro under the
MVP season.
yes, everything other the same Michael Carrick too. So a lot of things to be expected. Don't forget that when Carrick was even playing for Man United, Iheanacho was playing for City,
Mm.
and that's my moment in time. So they were former opponents. So
City rivals.
I still rise that, but I hope Iheanacho will not disappoint Michael Carrick. This case because so I hope he can show up perform well. It's a league that he knows very well. He has been playing in the championship. He knows very well. So I hope he can show up perform well. For me, I think senior man is on the decline.
Mm. Mm. Sorry, you say age is only 28 years old. So, we still expect another. It's supposed to be hitting his peak right now. So let's see how things go for him. Um, okay. Somebody's asking about a failed transfer. Yes, we heard about the late bid that Fulham made for Samuel Chukwueze. That didn't go through, so we didn't really get into it. We don't know why it didn't go through. We don't know exactly what happened. Um, but that could have been interesting if Samuel Chukwueze joined Fulham. It will be on one flank, Chukwueze on the other flank. It could have been an interesting one for Fulham. It could have, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Uh, you know.
Hmm.
Okay. Let me see. Timmy says, I think championship will be good to him and Dennis, and hopefully they can get promoted and start working their way around the squad for tournaments. Yeah.
Hmm.
The reality of it is that I doubt if they can all get promoted. That's just the reality because Leeds and Burnley have really, really been performing well in championship. Then Sheffield United are close to them, only 2 points behind.
Hmm.
Blackburn can only make the Blackburn cannot get automatic promotion. They can only make the playoffs. Middlesbrough, I don't think they can get automatic promotion. They are too far away from the top two. They can only really get the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see. One of our Nigerian players might even be getting relegated from the championship into the League One because Plymouth are rock bottom of the championship. William, I say sorry. Wayne Rooney, man, such a bad coach. But, he did nonsense with that team, but they had to sack him.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Well,
interesting
we have
one.
Luton and Plymouth going down.
Yeah, so let's see how things work out, child. Let's see how things work out. Okay.
Mm.
Anybody that we didn't take, apologies, we're out of time. Again, this is why I always encourage you guys. Send us whatever you want us to talk about, send it to us ahead of time. at least 24 hours before we come live. Because when we come live, it's not easy for us to start adding tidbits, things into the conversation that we're not already planned for. Smith like lots of transfers in January.
Yeah.
From Akko Adams to Bruno Yemechi to Daniel Daga to Vincent Suji, Ngozi Okobi, Francisca Odega, Kelechi Iheanacho, who else? Victor Boniface almost transferring.
Mm-hmm.
So many different players were on the move this January. What is your top and what is your bottom transfer that happened in January?
For me, my top transfer happened in January. I will have to pick Aqua Adams.
Mm,
Leaving Montpellier to Sevilla FC is a good move, and he had a very good debut too.
minutes off the
Against,
bench, but still.
yeah, he came on the bench, still prove himself against against Getafe. Our own which is Getafe. My worst transfer is Aki Kumiyamao
Where did
going
it go?
to China Division Two.
Oh, really? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he went to China Division Two. He even won trial. That's my
Okay, Shanghai Jiading Huilong.
yeah. They were wearing trousers to play. All
Ah,
those
interesting.
yeah.
I did not even, I stopped following him because I was just like, oh, okay, so the boy is reviving his career.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Somebody that was potentially going to prison is even getting clubbed. That's a good transfer. How can that be your bottom transfer?
So for someone that's so was joined by Amaju, that's like Messi.
In Nigeria, we do overhype some people sometimes. But interesting. I didn't know that. I did not see it though.
Uh-huh.
Shanghai Jiading Huilong.
Yeah,
Let me see.
yeah,
They are in relegation battle
yeah,
in
yeah,
second
yeah. Good to
division.
God division.
Okay. But I mean, I wish him all the very best, man. Hopefully
Yeah,
things can go well for him then.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
For me, I'll say my top transfer. I'm not going to choose Akko Adams. I'm going to choose Vince Osuji to Club Brugge. Osuji, bright young talent, someone that I
Mm-hmm,
believe can make a big step up in his football journey, his football career. Feel like he can do really well with Club Brugge. Club Brugge is a team that develops talent.
mm-hmm,
The Belgian Jupiler Pro League is a league that develops talent. I
mm-hmm,
just think that there's high potential that can come out for him, and I
mm-hmm,
really, really do hope that things go well for
mm-hmm,
him. My bottom transfer, honestly, it's hard for me to pick because there were not like bad transfers being made by Nigerian players in general.
mm-hmm,
Players were making moves that are necessary for them.
mm-hmm.
But because I'm going to ask a question, I have to pick one. Because I asked a question, I have to pick one. I'm going to pick Emmanuel Dennis to Blackburn Rovers. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I pick it is just because I think Dennis should be moving permanently, not on loan. I think he had opportunities to move permanently, but he decided not to. I think he's not trying to fight. Like you said, maybe he's that comfort of if you go on loan, you're still on the same salary that you were before you went on loan.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
maybe that's that comfort that he's looking for, that financial package for him to continue to earn. Again, I do not blame people for putting their finances first. I put my finances first also in my work. But as a football fan, your finances don't do anything for me. That's the reason why
mhm,
I talk from a football fan's point of view. um it wasn't necessarily a bad transfer. He needs to play football, but I think he could have done something better for himself by altogether just going permanently to somewhere else, establishing a new home, settling in a new city, in a new country potentially, rather than going to Blackburn and then in the summer you're coming back to Forest to come and fight the same battle of how to live and seeing which club can give the package you want. So I
mhm,
would say yes. For me, that would be my bottom one. But shout out to every Nigerian player that performed or that transferred this January. Wish them all the very best. Okay. Temi says Kele for go Saudi Jaja. Maybe he still wants to compete. He's not ready to go yet. Yeah, he said that they wear trousers to play. Jesus Christ.
No, because I saw some people it was trend against wearing trousers. So
Adeotun
some
says
people.
my best transfer is Bruno Onyemaechi.
Mm.
Okay.
That's a good transfer too.
Yeah, that was a good transfer. I wanted to pick it as my best one, but I really just like that Osuji transfer. I
Mhm,
think that Osuji can develop into, Bruno is past the point of hyping him,
mhm,
but Osuji is a player that we can still hype. There's still a lot of potential. There's still so far that
mhm.
he can go and he can get to. If you want to speak, please call in. We have just under 7 minutes to take calls and wrap up today's show. So please, if you want to speak, the link has been posted on all the social media platforms. It's pinned over there on YouTube. Just call in, make sure you have good lighting, make sure you are well dressed, and we'll give you an opportunity to discuss whatever topic that we have covered today. Thank you very much. Yes, hello, good
Hello,
evening, sir.
good evening, Smith Layi. Good evening, Lottie.
Good
Yes.
Uh,
evening.
Wonderful. Sorry, can I answer the question on both transfer and reverse transfer?
You can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Okay. Someone said on the comment section, best transfer, Bruno. That
Mm,
personally is my best transfer
mm,
because I'll be honest, I don't really watch him in a time. But for him to go from a struggling club to a major club, I think they are the Conference League champions, if I'm not mistaken. UEFA Conference League champions, Olympiacos.
yeah.
So that is still will be playing European football this season, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another one. My work has to be in FM.
Mm,
My work has to be in. It has to be. See, this guy was the best player at under 17 level. This guy was the best player. We need to forget. This guy was the best player at under 17 level. Was so good that Pellegrini convinced the board to sign him. You understand? He was so good that Pellegrini, who is the coach of Red Betis now, said he should give him minutes. This guy was so good, and all of a sudden he went down, down. He's the worst transfer. When you think about it, I mean,
So,
you know,
sorry, Escort.
the guy
Sorry,
is right. The guy is elevated.
Escort. Sorry. You said he was playing for under 17
Yeah,
12 years ago.
I said he was the best player.
it was
Yeah,
the best
that
ever.
was 12,
No,
that was
no,
12 years ago.
no. I I said he was the best player at the under 17 level.
Yeah,
He was awarded the best player now.
yeah,
That's what I meant.
okay,
Yeah. So he has gone down. He has gone down.
yeah.
He has gone down. So some people also made this transfer. The Vince Osuji guy, I've not watched him today. I'm going to start watching for Bridge. He made a good transfer. This guy, there's a guy I had high hopes for. I know it's not part of it. I had high hopes for. He's in lungs.
Already.
Hamza the good run. But the guy is not really getting it. So I don't know.
Mm,
I don't know. I hope the guy will get me to the club. I'm just glad, Sha.
mm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
So
you.
it's
Thank you.
it's out. I don't have much.
All right. Thank you very much. Nice to hear from you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Okay, that was X Code. His best transfers, Bruno Oyemechi, and his worst transfer, Kelechi Iheanacho. I mean, Similar, I'm on the same page with you. You know, under 17 football. That's why I've always said it that I always allow players to come and play first because under 17 football is not really clear signal of who is going to be a top star or not. A lot of things change, you know. But I just, as I was speaking, I was just remembering that Iheanacho's time, that his celebration when he used to do his
Mm-hmm.
hand like this. Ah,
Yeah,
Iheanacho was a ball at that time. But
yeah.
life happens. Okay, let's take our final caller for today because of time. Mr. Adidotun, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, my brother Smith and
Thank you.
AyoT. AyoT, you throwing jibes at Man U. It's just like you throwing jibe at Smilayo.
Similar
So
is not
stop
a Man
that.
U fan now.
What am I you fan?
Uh, because you are throwing jibe at the best club in the city. Okay, let me
Man
just say
City, Man
this.
City is in the city now.
The Man City,
Yeah,
Jare.
I've never supported Man U before.
So
Even
let
Man
me
City,
just say this.
Man City self, they wipe them this weekend, sha, but
Let me
it,
just say this,
it is what it is.
AyoT. I'm tired. The same way you are tired of telling people. Most of the people that are mentioning Chris Santos, I'm sure none of them watched it when he was playing semi-pro.
Mm.
None of them watched when he was playing semi-pro. And back in the days,
They don't even still
yes,
watch him today.
Yeah, back in the days, Mila will agree with me. 8 used to be attack a striker. But now, football has changed now.
Yeah.
Maybe they move to midfield. Because when he was mentioning players were put on number 8 shirt, Smilai, 1992 AFCON, Rashidi Yekini was wearing number 8.
Mm-hmm.
So who call him 8? So some put them like who judge players by just number they wear. Mina Barosh was put one number 5 jersey for Liverpool. I was a striker.
Someone Jan.
So yes now. So my own is this. Any player that's playing week in, week out should be invited.
Mm,
And I still believe in players that we have tested before and
mm,
trusted. If they can get by them, I am a fan of Aribo. I'm of the opinion that it should be recorded to be Super Eagles because he's playing week in, week out. You know,
and
the,
he's
the
playing well.
ones that, yes, the ones that have not played for Nigeria, I won't put them above the ones that have played. Okay, that's that on that. Then on the transfers, my best transfer, like I said in the comment section, will be Bruno Oyemaichi because I didn't see it coming.
Mm.
Leaving Bad Vista for Olympiacos, meaning that the young man will play in Europe every season. I would have picked Shuba Apom. But number one, Apom is on loan, and two, he has not done the green white green. No. And the worst transfer, I will not pick Dennis because I think because now he wants playing time, you know, my worst transfer. Should that Akikumi, that's the worst to me. A boy that was seen as the next great thing to happen in Nigeria. Guy,
We went to if you go walk up for Siam for walk up.
yes, now he almost made it to walk up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's what it is. That's the worst transfer
Mm-hmm.
so
Waiting,
far.
waiting, waiting. They always pay me with that boy story. Be say now waiting. Now that boy. Now why person come Instagram live? Can't they lie against my head? Can't they insult me?
You know,
It's not like I'm wishing the boy bad though, but it just a pay me say now that person will cause that kind
bro,
of commotion.
that's PR. Even before the boy self join this club, when he went try and say
Mm,
this person I'm talking about came on and say, Zamalek top clubs chasing this boy.
mm.
The boy can't choose China Division 2. Maybe so all those things don't take it. It's a just PR, just trying to
Well,
Then,
I mean,
then,
that's not how to do PR, Sha, but I understand what you're saying.
then
But yeah, Mr.
I
Dotun,
say
please,
your
just 1 minute.
sorry. Yeah, I say your comment section. IoT. I don't know if you have access to Justin Madugu or Boys Madu. That Imade should be capped ASAP. That Imade should be capped ASAP. Because if we lose that girl, I swear to God Almighty, I'm going to put a curse on that Justin Madugu.
Hmm.
And the curse will happen. Well, I'm going to call on the heads of all Nigerian football lovers to punish the coach. He should please, they should please invite that girl now and cap and cap her.
Hmm.
That justice. But well, maybe because of time, I was going to ask the update on Tela's injury and Lookman. So since you don't have time, maybe next time we'll talk about that one.
All
Maybe
right,
when it
thank
comes to
you.
Instagram Live.
All
So
right, thank
thank you for having me.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Dotun. Okay, I said Mr. Dotun will be the last caller, but we have a late comer. I'll give you just a quick 2 minutes to share your thoughts. So please let's just make sure that we're concise and straight to the point. Welcome, sir.
Oh,
Welcome. Good evening, everyone.
I know. Say now if you give him the pass, naive.
Because you're a regular person, so I have to
I
I have
know.
to
Say,
give
Thank you.
I ain't get
Thank
the
you.
special
white card.
treatment to our regulars.
Thank you. Thank you. So, quick one. I think my best this thing will be for Akpom going to Lille,
Mm.
and then the worst one. I don't want to pick Amo because I don't see him as a professional anymore. So I will just exclude him. and I'll pick Iheanacho. I'm like, yeah, I'm sad for him as much as, yeah, I'm really sad for him.
Mm.
Then Smith Layi made a comment about that player that I said is the best export for um
Horrible.
Uh,
yeah, for under
Aruba
17.
Ariri.
Yeah, I want to understand that statement in your own terms, but I don't think he's our best export for under 17 level.
Okay,
To
let me
me,
give.
I think Uwankali has been our best export. Since I've
Let,
been watching under 17, I'm not talking
Aruba.
about Kano
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Since I've been watching under 17, I
Can
think
I just
Uwankali.
defend what I said? Since I said I was talking about striker, I said that I've never, he didn't even play on a 17. No, this guy played on a 20. He said since we have been exporting striker, I've never seen someone that gifted
Mm.
since Brian Ideye. When I saw Brian Ideye playing for Ocean Boys, you will know that he's going to go places.
Yes.
You will know for Ocean Boys under coach Samson Emmanuel. You will know that this guy is going in and blessing your carry. You know that they will go places.
Mm.
So I've never seen a grand player can able to take on have different skill to score goals, everything, and be able to take on player. When you say you have the ball, you want to take on an opponent. It was something Siasia that used to actually try to do that. In his days. Amakachi had to do that, but this guy he can do that. And if you go and check his goals, he scored at the under 20 Wafubi. Go and see those turns against Ghana. Go and see those saves, those goals against Ivory Coast. You will know that this guy, his skill set is very high. And I just hope that he gets it right. For me, Osimhen will have been a very fantastic player, but at this age, at 17, I think that this boy is slightly ahead of Osimhen at 17.
Mhm. Yeah, two quick question. Talking about Ocean Boys, do they still exist?
No, no, there was they're not existing again of brass. They're not existing again. So it was
Okay.
Ocean Boys and Brighton United then, but Ocean Boys is the fun. So painful. They call them the Ocean, the Jack, the
Oh,
Jack.
okay, okay, okay,
Very,
okay,
very
okay.
good this thing. And let me just talk about Wakali. See, let me tell you something. It's not as if people are called. I'm now becoming like a broken record. But in my honesty, when I saw Wakali play on the 17, and I watched Onaze play on the 17, I knew Onaze would have more caps than Wakali.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yes, it's something you just see that this level of this guy don't pass this level. He was just playing it. If you check Onaze, out of when I saw it, I know that Onaze will be better than Rahman Aziz. I know he was the best player then. I knew Onaze will grow better than him. So it's just there's something that you will see in a player. This boy will actually work, will go far. But it's something you see in the player too that uh,
Lastly, how about Leslie Ugochukwu? Is there any chances for him to come to
he
Nigeria?
should be playing well first for me. I got your team. But for me, I just think that it is if he plays well, he will play for Nigeria. His own case is different. He's a paper Nigeria boy. His case is different.
Mm.
It's
All
different.
right.
That
Thank you
was
very
everything.
much. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us, sharing your
Yeah.
thoughts.
Thank you.
All right. Let us wrap up the show. I just want to appeal to the NFF. Please let the Super Falcons know what is going on in their lives. Let them know if they are playing matches. Let them know if they're not playing matches. Just update them. CAF appeal to CAF as well. Please, if the WAFCON is going to be postponed, let us know now so that we
Ah,
can
are you hearing that?
see. Nobody is hearing anything. It's not like I'm hearing that they're going to postpone it, but we're not hearing that they're going to play it. Players are not hearing anything. I've spoken to some players, they're like, see, only God knows what's going to happen. Even the other week, Oshoala on Twitter Spaces, even she made the same comments that is this WAFCON going to go on or not? They are hyping the AFCON. Nobody's talking about the WAFCON that's coming up how many months before the AFCON. So for me, I just if they're not going to play the tournament, let us just know ahead of time.
But
If they are going to play it, then can they give it the respect that it deserves, the attention that it deserves? Talk about it. NFF know they talk about them, CAF know they talk about them. Everybody just acting as if the AFCON that is coming up all the way in December, everybody's acting as if that's the only thing that's happening this year. I understand them not talking too much about the age grade competition because age grade na age grade, but WAFCON, ha, there's literally no attention. I'm sure there are people that don't even know that it's happening because nobody's talking about it. The players don't know what is happening. even this February window now that they are supposed to be using to prepare for the tournament, Super NFF never announced any fixture. Last minute now, maybe they will say, "Oh, we're playing against Ethiopia. Oh, my double header at home. We'll flog them 6-0, 6-0." Is that one preparation? Is that one doing any benefit for anybody?
You gonna play
So,
Ghana now.
so
I'm
please,
not that new one yet.
so please, let these ladies, the best team ever in African football, let them know what exactly is going to happen to them. Um, and before we go, I just want to let you guys know, shout out to everybody that has watched the two interviews that I've dropped so far in 2025. Like I mentioned, the goal is to drop at least one interview every other week. I have some people scheduled. I have some people that are coming up soon, talking to the Yak very soon by the grace of God. I was thinking of talking to Tai Taiwo, but I feel like I've spoken to him recently, and I don't know if I should do another Tai Taiwo interview. If you guys have any suggestions of who I should interview, please always feel free to leave it
I
in the
think you
comments.
should do Taitaiwo in like a different context again. You know.
Yeah, in a different context, maybe
Mhm.
closer to the Afcon, and we can talk about the Super Eagles and
But
maybe
Yakon will be very
focus on that.
will be
Yeah,
box office.
yeah, could be interesting. Of
Will be
course,
box office.
we'll talk about that miss. Of course, I'm sure he's tired of talking about it, but I'll ask him about it. I know Smith Layi has also suggested Leon Balogun. Um, by the grace of God, we'll get that one sorted out as well. But yes, thank you to everyone that has been watching. This week, another interview is coming out with Rafael Ayagua. Rafael Ayagua is a player that has played his trade in Nigeria, played in the USA, played in Egypt, played in Libya as well. Let me just play you guys the trailer for that interview. I know I usually premiere on Smith Layi show. We'll come back on Friday, but
Hmm.
let me just show you guys the trailer for the interview with Rafael Agua so that you can get anticipated and get hyped up. Because this interview is another one of those very, very interesting interviews that I'm sure you are going to want to watch.
Everyone wanted me to go to school, but I said no. This is what I wanted, and I'm going for it. As a young boy coming up, I was earning 700,000 then. I was the first Nigerian to sign in Norway without trials. People must talk regardless of anything you do. So anything anybody says outside, it's his or her own opinion. Football in Libya is physical.
Would you say is a higher level than Nigeria? Is it a lower level?
You can see in the continent, then you judge.
What would you say was the biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge, I would say, is my experience in Egypt. I must say, I was like, God, prove yourself that you are God. Let me come out of this alive. That was the only thing I was saying in my heart. They treated me like a common criminal.
This one looks very interesting.
See,
The trailer
what this
is very interesting.
what this guy went through in Egypt as he was talking to me about it, man, it's crazy. I'm happy that he won the case. They took the case to court to FIFA to cast. He won the case. They had to pay him some good money for the struggle that they put him through. But man, it's an experience that I don't wish on any footballer. See that he literally said he was just praying that God let me come out of this alive.
Hmm.
They beat him. They did all sorts of things to him. Your
Egypt.
club, your own club, your own club. When you're under contract. Crazy story. The interview is going to be live on our page on Saturday. So
Yeah.
please look forward to that one. Um, it's an exciting interview. It's about an hour long. It's shorter than the previous ones. It's about an hour long, but it's an hour just packed with interesting stories. Like he also mentioned, he was the first Nigerian player to go to Norway without a trial because of how good he was playing in Nigeria. They signed him. He's a player that has ambition. He's also testament of the power of social media. If you watch that interview, you understand. I'm sure other players that don't like using social media will see that there's benefit to using social media,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you guys would enjoy it. Rafael Ayagua interview coming out on Saturday on Eagles Tracker,
I,
the YouTube channel.
yeah. I saw something on your story to just about that. Yeah, you called out someone as using your content and without.
Okay, let me talk about it. See here, Nigerian media people, goddamn, like, can't we just be professional? Can't we just have ethics? Can't we just do things the right way? How can I be working hard, reaching out to people, leveraging my network, leveraging my connections for somebody to just go and write article, write story as if they're the one that did the interview? No attempt to. You did not even name who. You did not name me one time in your article. You are writing, oh, I can report, we can report, we are reporting this, reporting what somebody else did without trying
Mm.
to give credit. Like, I'll say this, please, for any media platform. If you want to use my content, all I ask is give due credit and link to the actual interview. Some people will name you, but they will not want to leave a link for people to go and watch the
Mm-hmm.
interview. Like, I don't know, Nigeria, we have this crab in barrel mentality. Like, you don't have to pull other people down to go up.
Mm-hmm.
If you big up somebody else and you push somebody up, it doesn't mean that yourself will not reach there, or yourself will not go up. It
Mm-hmm.
pisses me off so much. There is almost no platform in Nigeria that has not stolen content from me before. Almost none. Even the ones that are my,
Even
even
your
the ones that are
enemy.
my friends today, they've stolen from me in the past, but we ended up making up and became friends. I don't understand why. Like, if somebody does work and you want to use the work, just give credits. All the international platforms give credits. ESPN will give credit if they
Mm-hmm.
use your content. But
Yeah.
I don't want to name anybody's name. I'm not trying to give them promo. But one platforms from Ibadan will just want to use your content and not even attempt to give credit. I don't understand it. It pisses me off so much. I try to do things the right way. I try to do things ethically. You know what? Nigerian
Mm-hmm.
people just make it so difficult,
Yeah.
man.
Even the blogger celebrating birthday
Yeah, stealing my
took
content
a
too. He did
picture.
not give credit. When I called him out, the next time he used my content, he went and he said he's giving credit,
He
but
copied it.
he did not tag me. You know those kind of things. It's like, will something removed from your body? I don't understand it. Like, nothing will remove from your body if you give people their credit, if you give people their props, give them their flowers. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, Nigeria, the way we they do things sometimes just annoys me. Similarly, I don't know why you reminded me, because now I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting angry again.
No, I just because I know that you didn't talk because this is coming
They
again.
still
The
use
person
this
might be
one too.
watching again.
I
Say,
write
don't
story.
worry,
I even,
I'm getting
you know how
this
many
one
people I
again.
reached out about 3, 4 people after this last one. Like, bro, if you want to use my content, just give the right credit. Put a link, let people see it and go and watch it. Like, why just putting it and you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to give credit, or you don't want people to go and watch it? If I get views off of your platform, does it remove your own views? I really don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. That's why, like, nobody goes in isolation. It's a collaborative effort. We're all pushing, we're all working hard. But then these are the things that
Mm-hmm.
fracture relationships. Because that lady now that stole my interviews and was chatting nonsense to me in DMs, like, would I ever want to do something with her in the future? Would I ever want to do something with that platform in the future? Like, why would bridges
Mm-hmm.
early? Bridge we never even build complete. You on the burn. So let's leave that. We just need
Yeah.
to do better in Nigeria in general. That's one of the biggest reasons why I always say I'm not a Nigerian journalist, because journalists in Nigeria, they've ruined the way journalism is supposed to work. Other than the likes of Shina Okeleji, the likes of Proudly Austin, and a few of them that, the Giamoto Imbos, the OGs, the ones that really know their work. Most of them, even the ones that just wear the same shirt and go and be chasing players in Europe, zero ethics, zero.
I beg, don't open,
See,
don't
yeah,
open.
now you said no open. Now you cause the whole thing where I call the vex now. But
No, no, no. Me talk to me can also talk to the person who wear one shirt too, because that one that you that you bring that one out.
see, okay. See, people are saying do Mikelobi. I don't know any if you people have connection to Mikelobi. Um, let me know and I'll
Uh-huh.
do it. I'm trying to work connections and see if I can get Manuela Munike. I'm trying to work that connection.
Okay,
But if you
that'll be
guys
very
know
good.
who can.
What about Finidi
Who
George?
is going
Is
to
it not
link
very
me? If you
interesting?
know who can link me to Finidi George, I'll talk to
Yeah,
him now. Let
yeah.
him tell us about the lack of tactics and how he does not need tactics. Like, if you guys
And
know
Osimhen.
somebody that can connect me to the other person, I'll gladly do it. But again, I'm trying to see what I can do with the resources and the network that I have. But I also want to
Mm-hmm.
talk to, just to give you guys context. I always want to talk to. I also want to talk to people that are not football players per se. Agents. Like, even now we're talking about Kule Shoname. If it's possible to talk about the academic system in Nigeria and see how it is, I want to talk to my guy from Fans
Mm-hmm.
Tribe who has built something so amazing for the Nigerian football space. And so much, so
Mm-hmm.
much more. Someone's a lot of Amboso. We'll see what we can do. Just when this video is on YouTube after this live stream, just leave it in the comments who you want me to talk to. Leave it in the comments. I'll go through all of them. I'll see who I can reach out to. I'll try to work my network, see who can connect me to who, and we'll try to make as much of it happen as possible. I've done some since Siasia. I have Siasia's number. Maybe if I have reason, I can do another Siasia. But we've already spoken about the whole flag case and everything, so it will be repetitive. If I want to interview him, all I can really ask him about is the current situation in Nigerian football. Maybe he wanted the job, I don't know. Maybe he did not, But um, just let me know in the comments after this video is on our YouTube channel, and then we can. I'll work to as many as possible. I want to at least give you guys one every other week.
What does they do unless
I
you
don't think
officially
that's
officially?
possible. That's possible. I have connections to him that can help me make that happen. But yes, for the sake of time, we're way over the limit. I want to thank every single person that has tuned in today, everybody that has engaged with us. I really, really appreciate your presence. If you haven't watched my previous interviews with Anayo Iwala and with Emeka Eze, please make sure you check those ones out on our YouTube channel. You can also listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it on Apple Podcast. You can listen to it on iHeartRadio. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can watch it on YouTube. I'm sure that you are going to enjoy the interviews. You're not going to waste your time. You're not going to regret. And of course, Rafael Ayagua interview is coming out on Saturday. It is going to be a fantastic watch. It is one that you do not want to miss. You are going to learn a lot about what happens to footballers, both the positives and the negatives. An interesting guy, an interesting story, and I really appreciate every single one of you. If you have not liked this video, please before you go, make sure you hit the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing. $0, 0 naira, £0, €0, zero sefa, zero CDs, zero yuan, whatever currency you spend, it costs you nothing to like the video. Please share. If you share the video, I promise it's not going to remove anything from you. It is not. Don't be like all these Nigerian journalists and bloggers that don't like to give credit. Share the word. Let other people see the gospel. No gatekeeping. Let people come and enjoy this content as well. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And God bless you as you do so. If you want support, feel free to be a super chat, but you're not mandated to. But please like, share, subscribe. Smith Layi, thank you for your time as always. Another interesting conversation. There's so much more that is going to happen this season. I know that Smith Layi is starting his countdown to the March friendly game, so make sure you tune in on Friday. Sorry,
Friendly
the March
game.
World Cup qualifiers. I say friendly. you know, uh,
And let me
yeah.
say something before we go. And that CAF already released the list today, the date officially. So I don't know, maybe it's your birthday, but it's going with the
No, no,
March
it's not my
21st.
birthday. It's not my birthday.
So March 21st is the first game, and the second game is going to be five
Yeah,
4 days after on the 25th
it's the day before
of
my birthday.
March.
20. My birthday is 26th.
Okay, 26. So I hope that we can celebrate
I
it all
mean,
together.
Super Eagles, do me
So
well, oh, do me
and
well. If people lose the match between Osime, Ndidi, who else is in the squad? If you people lose the match, just donate $10,000 and send to me. I'll forgive you.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but yes, thank you very
Yeah.
much, guys.
Thank
As always, this has been another episode of the Naija FC podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it half as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. It's been a pleasure. My name is AyoT. My co-host is
Smith
yes. Thank you
Layi.
very much. Have a good
Thank you.
night. See you.